Pink Floyd, money. And speaking of money, I'm pretty sure we're still giving away all kinds of money. Yeah, with Money for Nothing, which your next
16 times a day? What?
your next opportunity, of course, is coming your way in the very near future at 6:10 a.m. And of course, as you can tell, Danny, Sarah, and the rest of the morning show, well, they're all here.
This traffic report is brought to you by Taco Bell. In SeaTac, the eastbound 518 on ramp from Des Moines Memorial Drive is currently closed and will remain closed for at least a couple hours this morning as police continue to investigate a fatal hit and run. And we're also seeing some slow traffic in Federal Way on I 5 northbound between 320th Street and South Center Parkway, currently about a 10-minute delay. Have you seen the trailer for Web of Fries? You need to. While the movie is shrouded in mystery, Taco Bell's new $1 nacho fries covered in Mexican spices and dipped in warm nacho cheese sauce are very real and delicious. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Staples. Hey, guess what? We're going to get more rain today, warming up a tiny bit with highs in the low 50s, and it's currently 49 downtown Seattle. Staples has low prices on the organizational solutions your business needs to clear the clutter and focus on the job at hand this year, like banker's boxes, file folders, and storage bins. Less mess equals more success. Visit staples.com for more. Staples, it's pro time. Now to Danny Bonaducci and Sarah on 102.5 KZOK.
Well, that's just crazy talk. It is 5:48. I'm Danny Bonaducci. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fabulous. How
I
are
see
you?
you in your little Patriots outfit.
Derek and I are going to brawl later.
Well, you know what? Well, I got to tell you, my money is on you in that one.
Yeah, I
You're
think
in
so.
there, Derek, but you will beat your ass. But I'm with you on this one. I got money on the Patriots, also against Derek.
Yes.
So I'm very excited. I'm excited about the game. It's weird because I'm not that excited about football if the Seahawks aren't playing. It's just,
Right.
It's I don't know, kind of up there with competitive tetherball if the Seahawks aren't playing.
But it's an event.
And this is such an event, and I do have not an allegiance to the Patriots, but a fascination with Tom Brady. How long will he go? Will he become the greatest of all time? Will the records show that he is, in fact, mathematically the greatest, if you know, like it or not? On the other hand, the Eagles, I was born in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Normally, take no solace in the fact that I was born in Philadelphia. I had nothing to do with it. My mom stopped walking, so I was born in Philadelphia. And I didn't enjoy the sports fans there when I lived in Philadelphia, but
They're
I was
tough.
born there. But there's this underdog Cinderella story of their quarterback.
Yeah.
Like that nobody even knows, theoretically. He's a backup quarterback for a pretty good quarterback, and this is crazy.
Well, Derek, why wasn't Nick Foles starting this season?
Well, because Carson Wentz was a better quarterback.
That's his way
I
of
guess
saying
that's
that
a simple-
Nick Foles lost the job because he what?
Oh.
What? I can't hear you. Oh, he stunk? Was that what happened?
Hey, he's been playing great in the playoffs. That's all that matters.
Wait, okay, I'm confused. Who's the quarterback now? Who's going to play in the Super Bowl?
Nick Foles.
Nick Foles. Yeah.
Nick Foles. I thought the other guy got hurt.
He did, but Nick Foles was a starting quarterback before this guy
and
showed up.
lost his. I did not know the starting quarterback for the Eagles.
Yeah, did he start for anybody?
Wentz?
Yeah, no, Nick Foles.
Oh gosh, where was he?
Was he in
Kansas?
Redskins?
No, I don't think he started.
He's
I'll
bounced
try
around.
and start a conversation where one of us knows something about something, and it'll be fast. Whatever it is, he's the Cinderella story, and I find that very interesting. I don't believe they're going to pull it off, but it would not break my heart at all if the Eagles won the Super Bowl. It'll break my bank a little bit. I'm still not exactly sure what the bet is with Derek. I had $100, and I said, "Well, he'll welch. He doesn't have $100,
Right.
So $5. I'll take $5 off the kid." And then he talk about cramming stuff in our mouth, and I was not sure what Derek was into, but I have $5.
I got the official bet as you have to eat $5 if your team loses.
Kind of a simple. Can I chop it up and swallow it with water? Because I win.
Sure, yeah.
All right, fine. I win. Now you have to eat nails. All right, we gotta go.
He has
on.
to eat nails.
Yeah, he has to eat
I
nails.
just figured we could just pick whatever we think would be the most disgusting food possible for the other person to eat.
Well, that does sound like fun because I know some really disgusting foods.
I bet you do.
I will give you a bowl of natto, man, and I will watch you retch
Ew.
in pain.
So is that
No.
the official bet then? Just whatever the grossest
No,
thing is
because you
can
can't
come
say
up with?
whatever before bet. That's not a
Right,
bet.
yeah.
Whatever. Unless we beat whatever, it's a $5 bet where I'm not eating. I almost said the S word, which, by the way, would be gross, and that would be a wild bet.
Yeah.
I'm not participating. But
Don't
anyway,
do that.
The reason, by the way, I was asking him where did Nick Foles start and all that stuff, it's not that we don't know his history. It's just a dig on the fact that he's a mediocre quarterback. So most people say Tom Brady is the GOAT, and you can dig like, well, so what happened last time when your team was in the Super Bowl? Oh, they lost to New England. So it's just ways of digging on Derek. And I'm not a big smack talker, but
Well,
digging on
that was apparent with your attempt at smack talk
Yeah.
there.
It's
digging
terrible.
on Derek is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good,
And Foles did start a few games for the Kansas City Chiefs, but he was never their full-time starter.
Yeah, he was with the Rams. I mean, he's just okay. But he's been playing for a while. He's just okay. Derek.
Well, when he's a Super Bowl champion, you'll think he's better than okay.
You know, when I see him in the Super Bowl, all dressed up like a football player, he's probably okay.
What's important is the rumors are he's got a giant who's it, so that's important.
Is that
That is
right?
the rumor.
So what's the bet about our mouths?
Nothing with that, I promise.
We'll see. All right. So anyway, I think I started the show with "That's Just Crazy Talk." I'm a little embarrassed this morning. Not too bad. I talk to myself often and with other characters, and they answer and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're there or anything. I'm entertaining myself. I'm having a fine time. Sometimes Amy will knock on the door. I'll be in the bathroom because that's where I seem to get the most vocal rather than just muttering. And I'll mutter and she'll go, "Who are you talking to?" And I'll say, "Oh, Paul, about tomorrow's show." But when I'm in the bathroom with the door closed, that's when you answer. Sarah answers.
And do you do the other voices?
No.
Okay.
No, you all have.
They're all in your head.
Chicks sometimes have girl voices, but that's not the point.
But do you say the words out loud, but the answer's in your head, or are both sides of the conversation out loud?
Both sides of the conversation on some occasions, not most occasions, are out loud.
Okay.
Like, what do you mean it's Groundhog's Day today, Paul? How did you not tell me it's Groundhog's Day earlier? Well, it's not Groundhog's Day earlier, Danny. It's Groundhog's Day today. Well, you know I'm stupid. Yes, I do. Shut up. That kind of thing.
Okay.
So anyway, so to give you a little background, I have suspected there was someone in my house doing bad things on maybe occasions. I'll drop that down to 6, where I was actually afraid. There's somebody in this house, and I'm scared of it.
In
Now,
your current house or just houses
in life
over
in
time?
general, in my lifetime. On at least one occasion, I've been right. Amy and I thought we heard someone in the house. I ran up the fire escape to catch them trying to leave, and there they were with a gun.
Oh, wow.
Totally right about that one. So I tell Amy all the time, listen, man, don't worry, because she's very lock the door, turn on the alarm, do this stuff. And I said, okay, but burglars don't want to hurt you. They just want to steal
They
your
wanna steal
stuff.
stuff,
If you turn on a light and they see you, they're going to run away. It's okay. Don't worry. But that's just trying to make myself feel better about stuff. So I'm going to the dining room, which is not something I usually touch in the morning. It's often this weird cubicle by itself. And there's a noise upstairs, and I hear it plain as day, but I don't know that it's a person. So I look up, and I see a shadow go right by me, not down on the floor, up above me.
Yeah.
So then the noise continues, and I start to think it can't be a person. Why wouldn't they be quiet now? They see me. So then I heard a noise. I saw a shadow. I thought again, and I said, and I quote, I'm yelling now because upstairs is 10 feet away on a little balcony. I said, hey, burglar, if you're trying to rob my house and you hear me talking, you're not going to get away with this, so you should leave. But I'll tell you this. You should walk by me calmly and just right out the front door, and we won't have any problems. But don't sneak up on me. You should just go, man. And I stood there with my
Which is
arms folded.
very fair and generous
Totally.
of you.
Well, I just want to know that he's on the deal that I'm on, that
Yeah.
we're not going to hurt each other.
Right.
You know, I don't want to wrestle some guy to the ground or something like that. I want him to do what I told Amy he would do, and that is leave because he doesn't
Yeah.
want any part of us. So I said, so just walk by. Don't do this quick. Don't scare me, man. But you can walk right out my front door, and there'll be no repercussions. I stop. I don't see anything happening, so I'm starting to think maybe there's nobody up there. And I turn it. I don't know how the hell she got upstairs, but Amy's in the kitchen not 10 feet from me, just looking at me like this. That she's way more scared to be in a house alone with me than
Yeah.
the possibility of any kind of burglar. I don't know why this came out of my mouth. I looked at her and went, see, I told you. And I went and got ready for work, and here I am.
This morning, the Washington State Patrol is investigating a fatal crash on the northwest end of SeaTac. According to Trooper Rick Johnson, close. The 44-year-old male victim was a passenger in a vehicle that had been pulled over after running out of gas. This was about 2 o'clock this morning, and this is on SR 518. The victim stepped out of the vehicle and was hit by another vehicle. So runs out of gas, pulls over, gets out of the vehicle. Somebody hits him. The person that hit him fled.
Right.
Did not stay on the scene. They are still working for that to look for the suspect, and they say that the vehicle is likely very damaged.
Right. Didn't they say that, and I watched a lot of news this morning, so I could be wrong about this. It could be another story. But was one of those cars filled with rugby balls?
I don't know that.
I saw a couple and I went, I didn't know those were rugby balls. I don't know that I'd recognize a rugby ball. I'd say a kind of weird fat football. That's what I would
it's
say.
just a kind of oddly shaped football.
And the other thing is, man, the guy ran, so everybody, he's a criminal and we can arrest him, which is nice. Sad that it had to happen. But remember when that girl had a flat tire and called her dad to change it?
Yeah.
And he got there and got run over right in front of her? What a drag. Plus, I'd be so mad at my daughter.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So whose car is full of rugby balls?
I'm not sure. In that accident, though, I think, I could be wrong, but in that accident, the trooper said, and that's when a whole mess of rugby balls fell out of the car, but I don't remember what car.
Huh. Well, because I would imagine if it's the person who hit the car, they'll be easy to find.
Right, he's the
Just look
rugby
for-
coach.
Rugby coach.
Because who plays rugby anyway?
I think we have a pro rugby team here in Seattle now. Just
Well, the fact that you
recently
think.
started up.
Because we
they're
all know
brand
the
new.
name- Yeah, we all know the name of our sports team. Rugby, I just don't know that that'll catch off.
The Seattle Sea Wolves is the name of
that
the
right?
team. Yeah.
I played rugby in college. And
Is that true?
Really?
It is true. And
Oh, I believe you.
it's, what did you say?
I said, I believe you. It
Yeah.
was just a figure of speech.
It's vicious. And the women who play rugby, it's hardcore. Like they were actually trying to claw at you and
Yeah.
theoretically
There was a
kill
guy
you.
kicked out of the Australian rugby team for actually putting his fingers, how do I say that? He didn't poke. He inserted his hand into the body of another player while scrumming.
Do that?
Well, that's what I
You'd
would have
think.
said, but now I think you can. I think there's just penalties for it.
Well, I'm happy to say that didn't happen when I was playing rugby.
Suppressed memories. Fake
Two
news.
men were indicted by a federal grand jury this week for scheming to smuggle dozens of firearms from the United States to people associated with the Peshmerga military in Kurdistan. The men, 51-year-old Paul Stewart Brunt of Bellevue and 29-year-old Ron Khalid Adalwi of Seattle, were arrested just 2 weeks ago after records say they had attempted to ship guns bought here in the Puget Sound region over to Turkey and then Iraq. They were hiding guns in the side panels of vehicles, then trying to ship those vehicles from the port of Seattle.
You'd think there'd be a lot easier ways for them to get guns that rather than taking them all the way from the U.S. hidden inside vehicles.
Well, if you're talking about Kyrgyzstan, you walk outside to the market and say, can I have guns?
Right, yeah.
Part of me wants to ask Paul, well, what is the easier way to
Yeah,
ship?
Paul.
Right. No, I would imagine that
Because that's how ODB got it.
Sure. There are some more open borders in that area where you could get guns from other countries, but maybe other countries that are not friendly to you. So I guess it's a
Right.
little more difficult that way.
I'm glad we don't actually know how to get that done. I mean, it's a terrible, terrible crime. They are facing 5 years in prison.
The world doesn't think it's that big of a crime then. 5 years?
Yeah.
If you're trying to smuggle guns to my enemy in life, you're a traitor.
It looks fun. Did you guys see that War Dogs, the War Dogs movie
Yes, I
with
did.
Jonah Hill?
But
It looks awesome.
Being a gun runner.
You being a gun runner, yeah.
Is that a real movie or a cartoon movie?
No, it's a real movie.
Warthogs?
War Dogs.
A War Dogs.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
no.
by the way, meh on it being a real movie. It's a Jonah Hill movie that's stupid. But there are scenes that, like when they come through the Triangle of Death.
Yeah.
You guys brought those guns to the Triangle of Death? Yeah. Let's go run some guns.
We've had a lot of stories about Amazon in the news over the past couple of months. I mean, more than that, but mostly we've heard a lot about Amazon over the past few weeks because of Amazon Go. And then they made the announcement that they're going to be opening up their own healthcare company. Amazon bought Whole Foods last year, and now they said they're going to use that site to bring back that treasure truck.
Oh yeah.
What
So-
site?
What site?
Bring that site. What site?
It's a website but you actually need to have an app to use the treasure truck. I remember you used it once when it first came out. I
For
think
lobsters, yeah.
yeah,
Paul called me up.
had turned you onto it. Yeah.
Because that's how I find out about things that are on an app. Paul calls me. Much like you call Paul to call 911,
Yes.
Paul
Right.
calls me to
Yeah.
say there's food available.
Yeah.
Well, the treasure truck has been around for 2 years, but it kind of went silent for a little while.
Does the treasure truck drive down the treasure trail? Because I would be interested in that.
It does, yeah.
Now it is back, and they are going to be using the Whole Foods parking lots as the site to
Oh, that makes sense.
because it's theirs now. They have a place to take the treasure trucks. That was one of the difficult issues they had was, okay, we got the treasure truck full of GoPros. Where can we go? We're not going to get in trouble.
Yeah, they tried to have specific set locations each week where they would say, okay, we've got this killer deal on one item. We're loading the truck up and we're going to drive out to these, we'll be in Bellevue in the morning. We'll be in Seattle in the
Right.
afternoon, that kind of thing.
Well, they're doing it again. And this time around, it will be in the parking lots of Whole Foods. So they are encouraging people to sign up again. You can go to the Amazon website, but then you have to put in your phone number, and then the app gets downloaded to your phone.
Are the deals that good, or is it just an adventure to do all
I
this?
remember you being very excited
was
about,
very excited.
about
But it
how
was-
cheap you got awesome lobster.
It was a block from my house, though.
Yeah.
So I don't remember. I was trying to think how much money did I save? Because lobsters are a bunch, and just because you're saving money on them doesn't make me go, oh, yeah, let's just buy some cash in a parking lot. But it was a really good deal.
The closest one presently for you, Danny, is still a mile from your house. I mean, that Whole Foods is probably half a mile from this building.
Yeah.
And so if we all signed up for this, at the end of the show, we could all theoretically go get crock pots or GoPros or lobsters.
Yeah.
And then you
All
can
the
film
above.
yourself cooking your lobster in your crock pot.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right.
The oldest son of late Cuban leader Fidel Castro killed himself yesterday
No way.
after months of being treated for depression. He was 68 years old. Fidel Castro Diaz Balarte had been in a, quote, deeply depressed state, end quote. His nickname was
Nebraska.
Little Fidel.
Deeply depressed state, if you
Yeah.
ask me. His name was Little Fidel?
Yeah,
So
well.
is my Hoozits. Hey, Little Fidel.
It's weird you keep,
dictator, you.
you keep asking people to salute it.
Exactly.
Fidelito. Little Fidelito had studied nuclear physics and had served as a scientific advisor in Cuba.
Wow.
He had previously led its nuclear program, but had apparently suffered
I
depression.
was just about to say, well, I'm not mad at this guy. I don't know him. But wait, now he's a commie island where he helped with the nukes. Okay, I'm not going to stay up nights about this. Plus, he was 68. He's not like a tormented teenager. The son of Fidel Castro. He's a senior citizen. I mean, I'm sorry anybody's so sad they killed themselves, but he was a commie nuker.
Yeah.
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 How'd he do it?
I don't know.
Oh.
They don't always release that information when it's other countries.
They don't always read it here. Some celebrity will die, and I'll be curious, and I'll hit the next button to see what happened. They don't tell you right away.
Yeah. The Wisconsin girl, or one of the Wisconsin girls who stabbed a classmate, all to curry favor with the fictional horror character
Yeah.
Slender Man.
Slenderman.
Crazy, man.
Well, committed to a mental hospital for 40 years yesterday.
Yeah, that's probably a good call.
I don't know. How old was she?
She was 12 at the time,
There's
but
got to be some kind of therapy the girl could get to be okay by her 30s.
they are
Not-
concerned that she had been hearing voices.
Yeah, that'll do
and
it.
Had a long history of psychotic behavior, perhaps schizophrenia, and they think it's an ongoing mental illness. Now, the other girl who was penalized in this did not get as intense of a sentence. She only got 25 years
In a mental institution or
in a
jail?
mental hospital. And this girl, the second girl who has the history of mental issues, got a stiffer penalty at 40 years.
Jeez Louise.
And,
That whole thing was so crazy.
Yeah.
I actually, it doesn't bring me any joy to hear mental illness, but it's better than that this is all because of the world we live in now with apps and Slender Man and this and that. And of course, this teenage girl could be talking to I prefer greatly that she has an organic condition such as schizophrenia.
Yeah.
yeah, over just being evil.
Yeah. And just she watched too many movies, whatever that crap is.
Yeah.
There's a show on that I kind of like. although it's sad, called copycat killers. And it's usually people that take their killing spree from movies and then do it.
Yikes.
And, so it wasn't even that. It was the internet and Slender Man, but also being a psychopath.
Wow. The mayor of Nashville has admitted to an extramarital affair with the former head of the mayoral security detail.
I'm just glad it's a person. He's from Tennessee. No matter how you want to say Nashville, it's in Tennessee. I've heard that.
Yeah, a person and non-related.
And doesn't have a bell around its neck.
Yeah.
Well, the mayor is refusing to step down, which some people thought after a salacious affair.
I wouldn't
No?
quit my job over it. No. What I don't know if it affects your job in some way. But let's say I get caught having an affair with somebody out there where the people who actually work real jobs are.
In this office.
Yeah, and it was, the show was as entertaining as always been, and they said, Danny, you can't have an affair with a guy. I would do this. I'd go, sorry. But notice I made him a guy to be
Yeah.
I just want to be all around in this. I'd say, sorry, I didn't mean it.
If you're gonna have an extramarital affair, they say cash is best. You don't want to leave a paper trail.
Well, that's not an affair, my friend.
$1,000
Yeah.
might help you out.
I agree with what you're saying, Danny, but they do seem to hold politicians to a different standard. I haven't heard a lot of people asking the mayor to step down, but of course some people are. But Megan Barry says she has apologized to her husband, and she plans to.
Oh, it's a lady.
It's a
I didn't
woman.
get that.
Yeah. She accepts full responsibility. Her husband says he accepts her apology and wants to help work out the marriage.
I'd be so mad.
Yeah.
It's in the papers and stuff. Like if you come up to me and say, honey, there's a little thing at the office, I'd be mad, but maybe we could work through it. If I read about it in the paper, I'm going to be furious.
And you don't think your scenario would make the papers?
Which one?
If you were having an affair with somebody here in the office and it got out?
I don't understand your point. What do you mean?
Just it would be in the papers, and you
Yeah,
saying
I'm
you could
guessing
move
she'd be
on, it
mad
would be
at me,
fine.
Paul.
Yeah, okay.
Well, today is February 2nd. No, I know what that means.
Oh, I know what that
what
means.
that means.
I do know what that means.
You should. You send it to me in an official KZOK memo.
Yeah.
People gathered at Gobbler's Knob in Pennsylvania this morning. All
I would
about
not step down. That's all I'm saying. If I
No.
got my knob gobbled, well, that you just can't say that.
No, you
Whatever it
can't.
is, if I took a trip to Gobbler's Knob, I wouldn't quit my job over it.
A lot of people went to Gobbler's Knob this morning to see the world's most famous groundhog, Punxsutawney Phil, because today is Groundhog Day. Would you like to know what happened?
I think that weasel put the punk in Punxsutawney. But yes, I would.
It's not a weasel, it's a groundhog.
Same.
Here's audio from the scene.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Now, this second day of February 2018, the 132nd annual trek of the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club. My faithful followers, your hands and my paws are getting cold. So
does he
here's
speak
my
for the rat?
forecast.
Yeah.
Not lead, but solid gold. I see my royal shadow. 6 more weeks of winter to go. Dilly dilly,
Dilly dilly.
All right,
dilly dilly.
Dilly. Okay, that's a little excessive on the dilly dilly. So that's the spokesman for the rat.
That's like the mayor
Yeah.
of the rat.
In his top hat.
Do you know what
Yep.
Tails.
there is the weather guy on Channel 7, I think Nick Allard is his name. And he's the first real news guy on the news I've seen actively hate this thing and call it a rat and a rodent. And he tries to be funny at first, and then he gets so mad, he goes, it's a rat. It doesn't know. I'm a meteorologist. I know.
Yeah.
I kind of like you, man.
Is there a
Dilly
world
dilly.
dilly dilly? Is there a world's second most famous groundhog? Because you say that's the world's most famous groundhog. I don't know
There is,
another.
Other groundhogs?
Yeah, of course.
But they're not groundhogs, are they?
No,
Don't
as
they have a
They're
in
duck
prairie
in
dogs.
Cleveland and
they have other
an
groundhogs,
octopus in Wyoming?
lesser creatures. There are other groundhogs.
But they're all posers.
They're all posers. Everybody knows it's
And
all
I
about
didn't know-
Punxsutawney Phil.
The weird, wacky mayor actually spoke for the rodent.
Oh yeah, he opens a scroll
Yeah.
every year in his top hat and reads.
I thought somebody wrote the scroll. Is he claiming that the rat wrote the scroll?
That's what he's saying, yeah.
It's a groundhog.
It's a
Whatever it
proclamation,
is.
official proclamation
He said,
of the groundhog.
I see my shadow, so he actually speaks rodent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would impeach that guy. I'd much rather that guy step down than the affair guy,
Yeah.
and the affair guy's a girl.
Right.
All right.
We talked about the leader, the founder of IKEA, dying at the age of 91.
Yeah.
He was ranked number 8 on the Bloomberg Billionaires Index.
Number 8?
Yep.
Wow.
Global retail fortune of $58.7 billion. And you probably think, boy, that family's going to be kind of stoked in a way to get that huge inheritance.
They're certainly set for life.
You would think.
Well, first of all, their dad or whoever died.
Right.
I don't
I'm
know
not
if they're
saying they're throwing a
stoked.
party, but
I mean, maybe he's a terrible person. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would assume if they're going to benefit, they're going to assume that Grandpa left me something in the will.
Well, he didn't.
Wow.
The money all gets funneled back into the company. A very specific type of trust was set up so that his heirs don't just all of a sudden get billions of dollars, and they don't have controlling interest of IKEA. It was all set up specifically to keep IKEA exactly what it is.
wow, that guy hated his family.
I hated his family.
Yeah. He loved IKEA, but
So
hated his family.
is somebody appointed new head of IKEA, though?
It's a trust, meaning it's a board of directors. It's a board of people making decisions, and nobody that is a descendant of his is in control.
Wow.
But there needs to be somebody with a Herney-Ferny name that they say is the top of IKEA, right?
No, it's George.
No, I'm not okay with
Me
that.
either. It's got to have a hurdy-furdy.
Can't replace Ingvar with George.
A Croatian big game hunter was preparing to shoot a lion during a hunting expedition in South Africa when he himself was shot and killed.
By the lion?
Pero Jelinek had hunted everything that could be hunted. He'd already killed one lion, but wanted another one. He was in a remote lodge. Initially, they thought the bullet that hit him was described as a stray, but now they are investigating it as homicide. Now, these lions were in a captive bred area, and
It's not really hunting, is it?
He's hunting lions in a zoo?
in a cage, yes.
they're not in a cage. It's open, but not.
I beg to
Open.
differ.
Do you know what I mean?
I think there's a
fence?
wire fence
Fence.
all the way around it.
Yes.
That's a cage. It's just huge.
Yeah, it's a giant cage. Now,
It's like Nicolas Cage. Different.
they don't know who fired the fatal shot, but this sort of hunting is controversial.
I think it is. If you're not on the endangered species list, and it helps, because I watched this whole thing. What was it? By the same people that brought you Blackfish about SeaWorld. Trophy was the name of it. And they showed both sides of you paid $300,000 to shoot a rhino. Well, I've bred the rhino. That's my rhino. I have the right to get that $300, and I feed my rhinos with it. So he makes an okay case, except at the end of it, they shoot a rhinoceros.
Yeah.
And it's like an
Yeah.
easy argument to say that's not cool.
We've this week been talking about Elon Musk's flamethrowers.
Yeah. Love
You-
this guy.
You wanted one.
I do want one.
How do we not have one yet?
Seems crazy. You know why? Because I asked you to get it.
Oh, all right. That
I have
explains
bad
it.
news for both of you. They're sold out.
Well, I knew Paul wasn't going to go get me one anyway.
He can make more flamethrowers, right?
No, he can't, Paul. He signed them. They're like a lithograph.
He had 20,000 flamethrowers up for sale to the tune of $500.
It seems like a lot, but do you watch QVC ever?
Yeah.
They'll go, all right, here's the crock pot in blue, red, and orange. Now we have about 22,000 of these left. No, I'm sorry, we have 4 left.
You're
They
right.
fly up the
Yeah.
shelves.
Now, according to CNET, they had the goal had been to raise money for his tunnel digging boring company to raise money.
Which, by it is the tunnel digging, because we talked about it.
Yeah.
There. So
Yep.
Is he being funny? Is it boring? Is it spelled different? Is
No,
that
but he's-
street? I'll talk about it. But it is a boring company for boring holes.
Right. And he's got to dig tunnels in areas for his Hyperloop.
Right.
So why not have your own tunnel boring company?
Them exactamente.
He also raised $1 million by selling 50,000 baseball caps. It said boring company on there, but 10 million from those flamethrowers
Right on.
sold out.
What's he going to put up next, though?
He's selling solar panels now in stores, like in Home Depot.
That
Oh,
is
yeah, right.
You
true.
can go in and buy your own thingamabobber.
But
which
that's not as fun. So what's he going to sell next that's fun?
Yeah, like a bazooka or something.
I will tell you this: that my future has a bigger hole that will be filled by solar panels than by flamethrowers. I think that's the future.
Yeah.
It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida story of the day.
Yay.
A 30-year-old man was arrested after entering a woman's home and stealing things. Deputies were called to the woman's home after she reported a burglary. She said she came home from work and noticed a pair of her panties on the ground in front of the porch steps. She entered the home and realized the door was unlocked and her bedroom was in disarray. Her mattress was cut down the middle, her mirror was face down, shoes everywhere. But she said, okay, what's been stolen? That would be all of her underwear and the bull skull she had on her wall.
I always get those two things going. See a girl's lacy panties get all excited and then steal a bullhead.
Yep.
Well, they were able to track him down because he had arms full of underwear and a bull skull.
Oh, there you go. That's how you find a guy.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Florida.
Why does she have a bull skull on her wall?
I don't know.
Why does he want all her underwear?
Oh, I know that.
Oh, yeah, that
Right,
part's
that
pretty easy to figure out.
standard,
Yeah.
Hey, today at 7:50, if you can tell us where my beaver has been, you can win a $50 gift card to Jimmy Mac's Roadhouse. You can go to KZOK.com or Facebook.com/Sarah's Beaver for pictures and be ready to call at 7:50. When we come back, we've got music news, entertainment, and sports. A big next step for an actress and her rock star boyfriend. I'll tell you what they're up to. It's a KZOK artist.
Very excited.
A celebrity couple celebrated a birthday with monkeys.
Okay.
Oh.
Davy Jones is dead, though.
Hey, with a monkey.
And a big update to the Super Bowl halftime show next in sports.
This traffic report is brought to you by Taco Bell. The earlier accident on 518 eastbound from Des Moines Memorial Drive has been cleared, and they got that on-ramp reopened a little bit faster than they expected to, so you're all good there. In Sumner on State Route 167 northbound between Highway 410 and 405, seeing some stop-and-go traffic, about a 20-minute delay. And in Everett on I-5 southbound between Highway 526 and First Avenue, seeing some traffic there, about a 15-minute delay right now. Have you seen the trailer for Web of Fries? You need to. While the movie is shrouded in mystery, Taco Bell's new $1 nacho fries covered in Mexican spices and dipped in warm nacho cheese sauce are very real and delicious. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
I woke up this morning feeling great, refreshed, feeling happy, looking forward to having a nice, productive Friday. And it's not like I went to bed and got like a gazillion hours of sleep. I didn't go to bed crazy early or anything. No, I feel good because I got a great night's sleep thanks to my pillow. I fall asleep much faster than I used to sleeping on my sad, saggy down pillow. With my pillow, I fall asleep faster and I stay asleep. And I really have noticed a difference, so much so that I got one for my husband. I got one for Paul and Derek and Tori. We've all got my pillows and we all love them. You will too. They guarantee it. You're also going to love this offer they have. It's the 4-pack special. 2 classic My Pillow, 2 Go Anywhere My Pillow, 50% off if you use the promo code KZOK. Call them at 800-304-4756. That's 800-304-4756 and use that promo code KZOK. If you go to the website, mypillow.com, you click on the 4-pack special, use that promo code KZOK. mypillow.com with promo code KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Target Zero. It's going to be cloudy today with on and off rain showers getting heavier into the evening. Highs in the low 50s, and it's currently 52 downtown Seattle. Drunk you doesn't make good decisions, so make a plan before you party and make sure to get home safe and sound. Let's reach our Target Zero goal together. 0 traffic deaths in your family, 0 traffic deaths in our state. Now back to Danny Bonaducci and Sarah on 102.5 KZOK.
Starting with music news, actress Daryl Hannah has cast her boyfriend Neil Young in a starring role for her upcoming film called Paradox, which marks her directorial debut. This movie will also feature Willie Nelson and his 2 sons.
I'm so tired of these directors, Hollywood directors, sleeping with the actors, trying to work them over to get. I mean, come on.
No, you're right, Paul. You're absolutely right.
Done with this.
Paradox, this movie is described as a
Should
whimsical...
go both ways, right?
I go both ways.
Sexist.
Back him out.
Paradox is the tale of music and love, where time is fluid and somewhere in the past, a man in a black hat is hiding out between heists at an old stagecoach stop with jail time, who's a person. And
Jail time is a person.
yeah, and the particle
So when somebody
kid.
says I've actually done jail time, it's a sex thing.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
So Neil Young, Daryl Hannah still going strong. She's directing a movie. He's starring. Willie Nelson's on board.
I love me some Willie Nelson. What's he, 85 now?
Oh, he's
83?
ancient,
He's
yeah.
100.
Yeah.
And like a 90th degree black belt or some such thing.
Every artist has a song that a lot of people wonder, what is that song about? Like,
Yep.
where did you get the idea for this?
I heard Carly Simon actually finally explain where she got You're So Vain from, and I still don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know that I believe her. She finally said, it's not one person. It was a whole bunch of different people.
I don't know. It's somebody that's strategically dipped below one eye. I think that's what it says. I'm pretty
That
sure.
seems pretty specific.
that's
Like,
a
that would be
guy.
one
It's like the
person.
guy with all the rugby balls. He shouldn't be that hard to find.
Yeah.
Well, Rick Springfield has been asked a lot about his huge hit, Jesse's Girl. He gave an interview to Yahoo Music and talked about the origins of that big song. I'm guessing, Derek, do you have the audio of him on Yahoo Music or no?
Let me pull that up if I can find it. Sorry. I have the song, though.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. What's he got?
It is a good
That's
song.
in
We
your
are
email.
familiar with it,
I
though.
love that song. I love me some Rick Springfield.
He gave this interview because he has a new LP out called The Snake King. And he's, done some acting. He was on General Hospital back in the olden days, but then he was in a couple of movies, but he's once again going back to his roots and putting out some new music. But let's be honest, what's the song we all know and love
Jesse's Girl.
Rick
yeah.
Springfield for? He said something about having taken a stained glass class back in the 80s to have something to fall back on in case music didn't work out.
In case Jesse's Girl isn't a hit, I'm going to do Stained Glass.
I mean,
Well, he was a big star. That soap opera career ran. He was a doctor, I think.
I think so,
Ran
yeah.
for like 10 years.
Yeah.
yeah.
Guy's a success all the way around.
And just in case that didn't work out, or if it's a cut 6, by the way, Derek, just in case the acting didn't work out, or if the music career didn't work out, there's a
Stained
big
glass.
career in stained glass.
I actually took a stained glass course one time.
Did you really?
Yeah, I'm not good at it.
From what I understand, you have to be pretty meticulous.
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
there
and
you
like
go. I'm out.
attention to detail,
Yeah, yeah.
patience. I don't think I could do it either.
I don't think I could do it. So he said that he wanted to be able to support his future family. He was going to be a stained glass master.
There you go.
Was he any good at it?
Well, he got
Or did he go,
distracted.
oh, you know what? My music career is going all right. I'll just do this.
He got distracted by a woman in the class.
Oh.
But it turns out that this woman had a boyfriend named Gary.
Not Jesse?
No.
No, you
Oh, I'm
can't
so
do
confused
that.
now.
You can't say I wish I had Gary's girl when you're in a stained glass with Gary's girl.
I guess that's true.
You gotta go Jesse on that.
Yeah.
All right, I do have the audio.
Okay.
I actually have told people that Oprah went to try and find her, and I know she got closer than anybody. I'd recognize her if I saw her, for
All right,
sure.
Derek,
I
press
still
pause
see her
on
in
that for
my,
a second.
in my
So what happens is Gary is the boyfriend. He likes the girl, but he realized that Gary's girl wasn't going to sound good in a song. Oh, I wish that I had Gary's girl. It just
And
didn't
Danny's
sound as
right.
good.
Gary's girl
Gary's
is
there.
sitting next to you.
Yes. Turns out he lost track of who the girl was and
Did he
decided.
care? I mean, once you go, let's say I'm in love with a girl. Her name is Holiday. She works around here somewhere. And then I realize, oh, man, she's married to Paul. All right, I'm going to move on. So do you hunt that girl down years later? Or you just say, okay, that wasn't the girl for me. She's married to somebody.
I mean, if it was enough that you wrote a song about it, then
Yeah.
you might still think about it for years to come.
But he also was asked, okay, well, so who's the girl? He's like, I am not sure. We were in a stained glass class together. She was smoking hot and she had a boyfriend named Gary and I wrote a song about her. I don't know who she is. So he goes on in this interview to say that someone tried to help him figure it out. Because like you said, Danny, with the song My Sharona, you know who Sharona is.
Dude, she's a friend of my ex-wife's.
Right. And she is an actual person. Jesse's girl, nobody knew who the girl was. So here is Rick Springfield talking about who got involved to help.
Okay.
I actually have told people that Oprah went to try and find her, and I know she got closer than anybody. I'd recognize her if I saw her, for sure. I still see her in my mind.
What's he got in his mouth?
I don't know. That's
Sounds
just
weird.
how he is now, I
He's trying
guess.
to effective way of talking.
Yeah.
Well, he said if Oprah can't find her,
Nobody can.
can.
But I like that he says, yeah, I could probably pick her out of a lineup.
I probably could.
I
Yeah.
don't really remember anything else about her.
It's Friday.
I know what that means.
It's a free concert Friday.
Free Concert Friday.
We are giving you tickets to Journey and Def Leppard September.
Awesome.
The Gorge. We will have a chance for you to win on this here very show today. The TV show Law and Order SVU takes place in New York City.
Was I on that one?
You were not. You were on CSI.
I cannot tell them apart even when I'm on them.
It's just all these weird acronyms.
Hey, you know what? Back in the good old days when I was an actor, you want to play dead, you close your eyes and try and hold your breath when the camera comes by.
Yeah.
On that show, they put white contact lenses in my eye and they made my skin all white and then drew in veins that would pool with blood. It's like, shut up. Let me just lay here and don't bother me.
You look dead.
I did look dead.
They did a good job. Law and Order SVU is one of the longest running TV shows at this point. It's been on
10 million
for
episodes.
Ever.
Yeah.
But they do film in New York City. And yesterday, the bomb squad was called in after somebody saw a piece of what they thought was a bomb, like a pressure cooker. It turned out to be one of those metal containers for hot apple cider,
Oh, like a
You've-
thermos.
like a giant urn,
Oh.
metal. And it looks like kind of like a mini keg, but it had wires coming out of it.
It's one of my favorite things down at Pike Place Market. The
The-
hot apple cider outside.
Yeah.
So you know exactly that urn I'm talking about.
Exactly what you're talking about.
Wouldn't they
I don't
like?
know how much he earns, but he has nice hot apple cider.
Wouldn't you think it's okay if it's on like a table with a platter of pastries and,
And some
bagels?
guy
and-
saying you want a sample?
right, exactly.
They had started to break down the set and had unplugged it and wrapped the cord and then put it on its side, and it was sitting on a park bench.
All right, I can see it now.
And then somebody saw the cord like sticking up. They're like, it's a bomb. They evacuated it, and somebody's like, that's apple cider. They cleared the scene. There was
It's a
absolutely
delicious
nothing wrong.
bomb.
Yeah.
I love hot apple cider.
Actress Portia de Rossi is giving wife Ellen DeGeneres something a little bit unusual for her 60th birthday. She was on the show yesterday.
Who,
And-
Durasi?
Yep, Portia de Rossi
Okay.
went on Ellen DeGeneres yesterday.
Well, she goes on Ellen all the time, doesn't she? Of course she
You'd
does.
think so, yeah.
She said that she has made a donation to the Diane Fossey Gorilla Fund that will create a permanent home in Rwanda, and it will be an entire gorilla conservation park that she gave to Ellen.
Well, that's lovely.
It's in her name.
What are you buying your loved one for Valentine's Day or their birthday? A gorilla sanctuary.
Yeah.
Yes.
I gave my wife a donation to the Diane Fossey bear. Thing.
Yeah.
I just hate bears to talk like that. If I could have done a better Fozzie Bear impression, that would have been a decent
Yeah.
joke, you bastard.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY, 1-800-DUI-AWAY. There's a little football game happening on Sunday.
Yes, there is.
And
Well, I
Jeff-
understand the balls won't be little because then how's Brady's going to let the air out of them.
Now, everybody is there already. This is a big week for them. They do a lot of press, and it's everybody soup to nuts. A trainer can do an interview, the halftime performer, the players from the smallest player on the team to the biggest, as in a safety you've never heard of to Tom Brady.
Everybody that
and
isn't
Nick
Tom
Foles.
Brady is somebody I never heard of.
Justin Timberlake was facing the media in Minnesota to talk about the Super Bowl halftime show that he is the performer. And no surprise, he charmed everybody. First, he talked a little bit about his man crush.
I asked Tom Brady who his man crush is. Do you know who he said?
I heard that I made the list, although I was a little jealous that I was so far behind Edelman, Amendola, and Gronkowski. He has great hair, though.
He doesn't.
I mean, great hair. Don't you agree?
Would you say he's your man crush, or do you have a different man crush?
I'd say he's on my list. The feeling is reciprocated, if you want to make this official.
Everybody's got a crush on Tom Brady.
I don't think he's that hot. His
No.
money helps him.
He's handsome.
Yeah.
His money and his skill. If I had to pick, like, I don't have to sleep with this guy over this, do I?
No, I don't
All right.
think so.
So if I have to pick what attracts me to Tom Brady, his appearance or his excellence, I got to go with his excellence.
Yeah.
Well, everybody is.
Lots of guys are that good looking. He's not
Yeah.
anything special. He's no Brad Pitt 10 years ago.
I would
Poor
agree
Brad
with that.
Pitt is now delegated to 10 years ago.
A lot of people wondering, Justin Timberlake being the halftime show, who else is going to be there? Is Janet Jackson going to show up?
Right.
Are the rest of the guys from his boy band going to show
Miss
up?
Jackson, if you're nasty.
Well, what does Justin Timberlake say?
Now, we talk a lot about special guests at the Super Bowl. It's always a big discussion point. Who is it going to be? Can we expect perhaps a little NSYNC reunion? Maybe Janet?
Well, no.
Well, that settles that.
Yeah, it does settle that. Although it did not sound like, like it was a concrete answer.
He didn't sound pleased to be asked.
No.
Is how I took it.
No, but when he paused, I was like, oh,
Yeah, me
maybe
too.
he's going to have a different answer
Yeah.
to like spin it like as a maybe.
No.
No.
And Rob Gronkowski, by the way, has been cleared from concussion protocol and is expected to play in the Super Bowl.
Thank
Good.
God.
Yeah.
Okay, I take that back, by the way, that I don't know anybody that isn't Tom Brady. I know Gronkowski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it. I'm out of football. I'm out of Patriots.
Well, when the kickoff takes place on Sunday in Minneapolis, prediction is it will be the coldest ever in Super Bowl history.
I would be
However,
willing to bet $100 that that's not true.
why?
I don't know. I just think it's probably not true. Because I've got all history on my side. They've got a 2-second moment in time.
Yeah, but they also have meteorologists who have
I don't
made
care.
precise weather
I don't
predictions.
even follow football, and I would have to say that weirder things have happened in Buffalo when you play in a complete white. All right, so if anybody thinks I'm wrong, I got $100. Says it will not
Okay.
be the coldest kickoff ever.
Would you like me to read you the list of all the other cold ones?
Yeah.
Because I actually have
Well,
the
no,
information.
but some would be good.
The previous coldest game was 16 degrees in Detroit. So I have the entire list from the people who track this of the coldest games. The reason I'm bringing this up is it's indoors. It doesn't really matter. Everyone is free.
Well, it
I
matters
just-
if you're winning $100
Did I just
off
win
Danny.
$100 immediately when he kicks the ball? Is it going to be cold?
The predicted kickoff temperature is 3 degrees. It'll be the coldest ever recorded in the
Paul?
city
Yeah.
where the Super Bowl is played.
I would like you to take my argument for me. Here it is.
Are you saying that it can't be the coldest ever because they're playing
I'm saying I
indoors?
bet $100 it's not the coldest kickoff ever. I thought I was going to have to wait till Sunday. I feel like I've won that bet.
Yeah, who did you bet with? Because nobody
Well,
said
just
they
the-
wanted to bet.
The gods, and they speak back to me.
Yeah.
But do you think
so?
that,
You're saying
that
if the game's
counts?
if the game's
Move the ball
played
outside.
inside.
No, I'm now fascinated with this cold thing. But
Right.
put it indoors. Shut up. I don't care.
I mean, there's no way they were going to play in Minnesota an outdoor Super
No.
Bowl.
The
The Detroit game wasn't outdoors.
The previous coldest game was in Detroit, 16 degrees. That was also indoors. The chilliest
Weird
out.
stat. The
door-
coldest thing that you don't care about because it didn't happen happened in Detroit.
Right.
The chilliest outdoor game was played in 1972 in New Orleans, where the temperature was 39 degrees. The high was
Yeah, they don't
43.
play in extreme cold outdoor games.
Right.
They just don't do it.
For
the
what?
Super
The Super
Bowl.
Bowl. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when they're picking Super Bowl sites, they go to sunny places or places with
right.
a dome.
The one time they didn't, which was super dangerous, was New York. Well, technically New Jersey. They played at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey In the wintertime, like that's super dangerous. It could have been 0, but no, it was 55 degrees for that outdoor game.
That's code name for warm.
Yeah.
But imagine if some super fans of the sport went to Minneapolis. It'll be 3 degrees when they walk into that stadium. That's not normal.
Yeah, it doesn't affect the players, but it certainly does affect the fans.
Especially
Yep.
tailgaters.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of tailgaters, come on out to South Lake Union, the boat show tomorrow at noon. Thank you.
Yeah, they do too.
In some other Super Bowl news, a lot of people who play in the Super Bowl, you just assume they're millionaires. These are football players who earn a ton of money.
I feel like I would think everybody who plays in the Super Bowl is a millionaire.
Yeah. There's a guy named Bernard Reedy. Ever heard of him?
No.
Probably not. To be honest, I didn't know who Bernard Reedy is. He plays for the New England Patriots. He had been cut by the Atlanta Falcons in 2015 and decided he needed to get a job in the offseason to help pay the bills.
Stained glass maker.
He worked as a driver for something called Care Ride. It provides transportation to people battling terminal illnesses or recovering from heart attacks or organ transplants. $11 an hour. That's the job he took. He then got a job with the New England Patriots. So he said, guys, I need to take a leave of absence. I'm going to the Super Bowl.
He told this to the drive guys that he can't drive around people with open wounds in his car, which
Yeah.
grosses me out.
So Bernard Reedy said he has been given leave of absence from his $11 an hour job to go play in the Super Bowl. And when it's done, he's going to go back to driving around sick patients.
Is he automatically cut from the team?
No.
Just in the off season, he's going to go back to that.
Yes.
Just in case this football thing doesn't work out.
Yep.
After the Super Bowl. Good on you, Mr. Reedy.
We had that with the Hawks when they the year that they won. We had a player who a year before had worked at Foot Locker.
Yep. I mean, it's amazing.
It's pretty crazy.
And he might be working there again.
Hey, my first real job after the Partridge Family totally freaked people out. They went, but you sign autographs. People know who you are. It's like, I have to eat and I have absolutely no money. So
Yeah.
I recognize this guy
Yeah.
because I guess he'll be famous after this, won't he?
You'd think so, yeah. Especially
see, yeah.
we're talking about him.
I mean, and you never know what's going to happen during a Super Bowl. There are unlikely heroes or villains, unfortunately for some. Speaking of the Super Bowl and what might happen, the Gas Man will be joining us just after 9 o'clock this morning to tell us what to expect, what to watch for. And if you want to get some wagers going, maybe you get one going
Maybe
with the
Gas Man. Absolutely.
All right, join us then.
This traffic report is brought to you by Taco Bell. In Everett on I-5 southbound, as you make your way into downtown Seattle between 128th Street and 1st Avenue, you're going to see about a 40-minute delay right now. And over in Renton on 405 northbound between Highway 515 and the Coal Creek Parkway, seeing about a 30-minute delay due to some stop-and-go traffic. Have you seen the trailer for Web of Fries? You need to. While the movie is shrouded in mystery, Taco Bell's new $1 nacho fries covered in Mexican spices and dipped in warm nacho cheese sauce are very real and delicious. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Let's be honest, debt adds up for all of us. We've all got bills, car loans, credit cards, student loans. All of us have experienced it. And maybe now it is time to think about refinancing your home loan. Call my friends at American Financing. They can help you out. You want to refinance? They are the ones to call. Think of it this way. A lower interest rate would mean lower monthly bill payments. And mortgage interest rates are far more competitive than a student loan or a credit card rate. I'm talking about rates in the low single digits versus rates in the high double digits. So why haven't you reached out to American Financing? You should do it right now. You can call them at 206-204-3200. 206-204-3200. You could close on your new loan in as fast as 10 days. You may be able to postpone up to 60 days of mortgage payments. You can also find them online, americanfinancing.net, NMLS 182334.
It is 7:02, and I'd like to invite you to the listener joke off, which will be happening right here in this very room and in your car and in your shower or wherever the hell you're listening to us. It happens at 7:20, and if you win the listener joke off, you get a pair of tickets to see Gabriel Iglesias at the Washington State Fair. You know, this is, I got to tell you, people are very funny.
Yeah.
I feel like
Absolutely.
nervous
Yeah.
for my job a little bit. People just call up and are randomly funny. But be here at 7:20 this morning, last day, unless we bring it back in sometime in the future, listener joke off.
In the beginning of the week, the jokes were not as funny. They have certainly ramped up. I think people are bringing their A game because on the first day of the joke off, we didn't get a lot of the punchlines.
Well, that's a bad sign right there.
It's never good when somebody's got to explain the joke. Today, February 2nd, it's Groundhog Day. And everybody gathered around Gobbler's Knob. Informal wear, no less.
Yeah.
I get that part, to be honest with you.
Really?
If you're going to do it,
If it's an occasion,
I
why
don't-
not dress it?
Yes, and it is an occasion. You're exactly right, Paul. I don't get that occasion. I'm not going to leave in my chair for the rat in Punxsutawney or wherever they
Yeah.
are, or Gobbler's Knob. But now if I'm there and they've said, hey, Mr. Bondici, because people from Gobbler's Knob call me Mister.
Yeah.
They said, will you do this year's that he sees rodent footprint or whatever the hell it is that he sees?
Shadow.
I would dress all up. That
Yeah.
sounds like fun. I just don't get the rodent part.
Well, they do it every year, and people go and gather around. It's televised. It already on social media. You know, they posted the video of the guy reading from the scroll with his top hat. You know, it's got bazillions of hits already, and you know, it's just one of those traditions that it's a little hokey,
It's a lot of hokey.
but we do it every year too. We play the audio from the scene, right?
Yeah.
Dilly dilly.
That's how it
Look
ended
at
this
that,
year.
yeah.
I thought that was funny.
I
Everyone doing the
thought
dilly
it
dilly
was, I don't know,
chant.
funny's the word I would look for, but I enjoyed it, yeah.
But we all waited to see, and you know, we're nowhere near Pennsylvania.
That's, by the way, that tells you a lot about the mayor of Punxsutawney. Is that right? Is that
Yeah.
said
Yep.
right? Yeah. That tells you that I'm going to go for humor this year. I'm going to steal a catchphrase from a beer commercial.
There's a guy, by the way, who is a Patriots fan who's wearing a shirt that says Billy Billy for Bill Belichick.
Ah.
And it's all in the same
So as
Bud
you
Light.
said, it's not that funny. You have to explain because I didn't get Billy Billy.
If
Well,
it
somebody-
said cheater, well, then you'd have to choose between Belichick and Brady.
Wow. But those Dilly Dilly commercials, they're a little bit hokey, but I think they're hilarious.
No, I like
Yeah,
them.
they're
I
fun.
like them.
Yeah, there's, I think, a lot of stuff that, you know, when you're willing to take a step back and admit it's hokey and confess to people you like it, even though it's hokey.
I do something. If I tell you that this is cheesy, there's a joke involved theoretically because there's cheese in this, but I don't mean it that way. But I think I do a cheesy thing a couple of times a year. I go to the melting pot.
Oh,
Remember the
yeah.
melting
Fondue.
pot? Fondue.
Fondue is fun. Yeah.
Fun. I have a fondue set.
Yeah.
It's like that was like back in the day with key parties. Like everybody had their fondue party and threw their
Yeah.
keys into a bag. But I love me some fondue, and I don't do it at my home, even though I have a fondue pot and setup with the cute little forks. I do like the melting pot a lot.
Yeah.
I, believe it or not, had fondue in our fondue pot last weekend.
You did really?
I
Good for
really
you.
did.
Good for
I
you.
love it. And it is hokey. And
It is hokey.
It's like a revival of the 70s. People have started to do it again, but it's hokey
I'm
eating fondue.
all in favor of revivals of the 70s.
Well, you guys listening, what is something that you enjoy, even though it's a little hokey? Share. Call us right now, 800-252-1025.
There are some things that would be considered hokey and or cheesy by some people, and wonderful and fun by other people. A lot of people think fondue is ridiculous. Not only have I thrown out there that I like it and I like the melting pot, apparently Sarah had fondue at her own home last week. So I am somehow dug out of the pit of goofy and right into current. That's what I got out of that.
Yo, in Olympia, what is something you enjoy even though it's a little hokey?
Well, I love to be the first person to call in and say, "Good morning, you people."
What do you
What do you
mean,
mean, you
people?
people?
Well, that's a thing. That's totally a thing.
Yeah.
She's right about that.
She likes to say hokey stuff to us.
She does like to say hokey stuff.
We appreciate it, yo. Bill in Lakewood, what is something that's hokey but you like it?
I like looking for your beaver, Sarah. I really do.
Wow. Well, it should be hard to find, and if you find it today, you get stuff.
Yeah.
You got like really good stuff, don't you?
$50 gift card to Jimmy Mac's Roadhouse.
You cannot go wrong.
That is really good stuff.
I just posted to her social media page.
May I just go on record? At least when I was there, Jimmy Mac's mac and cheese. I think it's called Jimmy's mac and cheese. I'm not sure, but it is yummy. And you can get a lot of it for $50.
Fried pickles. Audrey in Everett, what is something you enjoy even though it's a little hokey?
Oh, yes, the old ice cream maker back in the day.
Are you making a cocktail right now?
No, she's making ice cream.
That's what I would have. Yeah.
She got her rock salt out, that little canister. She's making ice cream.
So is that, you mean the kind that you buy at some home store and then spin it around, that kind of thing?
Absolutely. Sarah, I'm feeding my kitty.
Ice cubes and a Bloody Mary? That's what it sounded like to me.
That is what it sounds like.
Well, thank you, Audrey. I actually know other people who do like to make the ice cream themselves.
Oh, homemade ice cream's fantastic.
You know what I like to do? I like to purchase the ice cream maker and then go to the store like a normal person, buy some ice cream.
Paul, you're Amish, so do we take it you do make your own ice cream as
Yeah,
well?
and we have an electric one now. But I had at one time one of those old hand crank ones, and you'd sit there for like an hour
Don't
turning
they
the
kick
crank.
you out of Amish camp for having an electric anything?
They do.
Something that's a little bit hokey, but you enjoy it. That's what we're talking about. Let us know by calling 800-252-1025. Jennifer in Everett, hello.
Hey, Jennifer.
Good morning, you people.
What do you mean, you people?
Fondue is the bomb.
The bomb?
Anything with cheese. So I was a pretty prolific reader. I still am. Spent a lot of time at the library. And so depending on what part of my childhood I wish to regress to, I will read Harriet the Spy, Where the Wild Things Are. I read children's books or books from my adolescence.
So when you say kids' books, you mean like See Dick Run and things like that, not Harry Potter.
Not Harry Potter, because that was not a childhood book
right.
for me.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, I get it.
That's
God,
cute.
I tried to read Harry Potter to my kids. There's a lot of words in those books. Some of them with more than one syllable.
It kind of brings you back, though. Bring back mostly for people good memories reading those Where the Wild Things Are. That's a great book.
Only kids' book I ever saw as a child and then more was called Danny and the Dinosaur, and I'm assuming somebody got it for me as a gift.
No, it was
But
written about you.
if I see it now somewhere, and I think, oh man, somebody actually put it in my free library one time. That's what
Oh, nice.
And I got it
cute.
warm. It heated the cockles of my heart.
Yeah. Randy in Newcastle, something you enjoy even though it's a little hokey?
Hey, I collect action figures and I play with my toys.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, my goodness gracious. First of all, how often do you buy a new one?
I bet I buy one every couple of months. I just purchased one the other day.
And how long have you been single?
Well, I've been married 32 years.
That may be the key, and now we're going to get this from
Randy,
Randy.
what was the last one you bought?
I just bought, as a matter of fact, I'm waiting for it to come. I bought a Carol action figure from Walking Dead.
Oh, that's
Nice.
cool.
Well, there you go. My goodness gracious. All right, well, that's cool.
What about you, James in Bothell?
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Yeah, I belong to a very large family, and in the summer months, we have celebrations for various occasions. And I love to jump through the sprinkler and play badminton with my great nephews and nieces.
All right, I personally feel that you have confused cheesy with crazy, and running through the sprinkler was fun as a thing, not a thing to do. But badminton, one of the greatest games of all time.
Yeah.
I think you're good to play badminton against your own family. Although my family cheats at everything, so I don't think it counts. But I'm minorly jealous of your time.
It does sound fun. I mean, we are talking about stuff that's a little bit hokey, but we enjoy it anyway because it's Groundhog Day, and we all watched Punxsutawney Phil this morning. And, there's a lot of stuff that you enjoy, but it's a little hokey. It's a little cheesy.
I used to watch the what were those movies called? The werewolf and vampire movies, Underworld, with my daughter. She was very young, and everybody yelled at me for taking them to a movie where they rip your throat out. She loved it, couldn't be happy about it. So then she wanted to dress up like the Underworld people. Well, I have a bunch of capes. I'm a fan. I got capes in them. So I gave her a cape, and I gave me a cape. We dressed up in capes. Then they put out another movie, and she got older, and she wanted corsets and stuff because that's how they actually dress.
Yep.
And I said, no, baby, you can't do that. So let's watch The Wizard of Oz. And I dressed her as Dorothy. And I put on some jeans and a jean jacket, but I stuffed some hay that I got at the store into my collar. And I was the scarecrow.
Yeah.
It's cute, man.
Yeah, it wasn't. It didn't go. It didn't fly. She thought I was stupid. So, yeah, I was bummed.
Meg, in Historic Kent, something you enjoy even though it's hokey?
Oh, those TV shows that are on some of the stations where old programs like
Yes,
Perry
I do.
Mason, Hawaii Five-0. I enjoy watching them.
Okay, I've been watching Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah.
Well, sure, since she passed.
Memory of Angela Lansbury. So this past weekend, my lovely wife Holiday and I are in Las Vegas, Sin City. All the excitement, where else could you be that's that exciting? And I'm in the hotel room one night watching the Andy Griffith Show. I love the Andy Griffith Show.
It's a good show.
It's
Opie.
wholesome but entertaining. Yeah.
Really whistle,
So
apparently.
call that hokey if you will, but I love.
And I would, but I'd also kind of go, that's very cool.
What about you, Jeremiah, in Seattle? What do you enjoy even though it's hokey?
Good morning, sunshine.
Morning, sweetheart.
I've been an addicted fan of WWE for 30 plus years, and I got to tape it every week. Monday Night Raw, SmackDown. But last week was over the edge with the first ever Royal Rumble for the women's, and then at the end, when Ronda Rousey came out and announced her debut, that
Spoiler alert.
You know what I'm really, because I thought maybe she did something I couldn't tell. I don't watch WWE at all. I admire their talents and how hard they are on their own bodies, but I'm very excited about the Ronda Rousey.
Absolutely, yeah. And our friend Joe in Lake Stevens.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, and a fabulous Friday. What's up?
What's up there, Joe?
So I have a neighbor who is the creator of the action figure He-Man.
No way. Liar, pants on fire.
Can he get me my toothbrush holder back from He-Man? Because,
That's right. You've been
man, I
looking
missed
for
that
that.
thing.
Can he get me the Stretch Armstrong He-Man that was bitchin'?
I am He-Man, strong as can be. I brush my teeth with regularity.
Oh, so he's not a
Once
rapper
in the
amongst his
morning.
many skills.
And
Rapping
once
is not
at
one of them.
bedtime. And once in between meals so that my teeth will shine. And there's Skeletor in the back.
Can't imagine why they discontinued that.
Me either, man. It was not annoying or anything.
Oh, look at the time. We need to play get ready to play for our last listener joke off. Is
All
it
right.
playing? I'm not sure. It's a game. You can win a pair of tickets to see comedian Fluffy September 22nd at the Washington State Fair. If you have a great joke, you need to call right now, 800-252-1025. One last listener joke off for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see comedian Gabriel Iglesias September 22nd at the Washington State Fair. You will have to make us laugh. If you can, you might be headed to the show. Our first joke teller is Lisa in Ording.
Hi, Lisa.
Good morning.
Morning. What do you got for us today?
What do the porcupines say when they kiss?
I don't know. What?
Ouch!
that was adorable, Lisa. Thank you very much for that.
Rick in Federal Way, what's your joke, buddy?
Hey, good morning. First time caller.
Hey, welcome. Well, wait a second. Welcome aboard, buddy. We're glad you're here.
Thanks.
All right. After all that, don't suck.
What do you call a grizzly with no teeth?
I don't know. What do you call a grizzly with no teeth?
A gummy bear.
That's very nice, Rick.
Let's go to Jeremiah in Seattle.
All right. Good morning again.
Good morning.
What did one strawberry say to the other strawberry?
I don't know, Jeremiah. What did one strawberry say to the other strawberry?
If you hadn't been so fresh, we wouldn't have gotten into this jam.
I like it.
Terry in Tukwila, tell us your joke, honey.
Sure. What did the cat say to the smartphone?
I don't know. What did the cat say to the smartphone?
Can you hear meow?
All right. Let's not give away the story.
Oh, my goodness. This was a tough one. These were funny jokes today.
And since I believe, I forget, was it Rick that was our first-time caller? Here's how this works, man. We now have all heard the jokes, and we are going to give out, we're all going to shout who we think won, and that person is going to go see Gabriel Iglesias at the Washington State Fair. Are you ready, boys and girls?
Yeah.
All right, on the silent four, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Terry.
Yeah,
unanimous.
ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to Friday.
I
Unanimous.
almost went with Rick. But
Yeah, he was
no.
very funny.
Terry made me laugh. Congratulations, girl. You have got those tickets to see Fluffy. You're picking them up at the Jeep Winners window in our lobby. The show is September 22nd at the Washington State Fair. Thank you so much for playing along. And don't forget, the giving doesn't stop there. At $7.50, you can win a $50 gift card to Jimmy Mac's Roadhouse by looking at the beaver.
Seeing some pretty long delays on I-5 southbound in Seattle as you approach Columbian Way. We do have an accident blocking the two left lanes, and also seeing some stop-and-go traffic on I-5 northbound as you make your way into Seattle between Mid-Boeing Field and Yesler Way. About a 15-minute delay there. This traffic report was brought to you by Walgreens. When is the best time for a cold? Never. Luckily, Walgreens is right around the corner with the right relief fast. With Walgreens brand cold and flu products, you'll get effective multi-symptom relief you can trust. Swing by your local Walgreens today and start feeling better. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
You know, when you wake up in the middle of the night and you have to flip your pillow over because it's really hot and you need it to be on the cool side, or you realize that it's totally flat, so you have to like punch it and fluff it or fold it in half. I never realized how often I was experiencing those moments until somebody here at KZOK gave me a My Pillow. They said, "This is going to change your life." And I said, "No way." Well, guess what? It has changed my life, and it will do that for you too. My Pillow will get you a better night's sleep. They guarantee it. That's right. They have a guarantee. They have a 10-year warranty. It is a product made in America, and My Pillow is something you are going to love. They've got a special right now. It's called the 4-pack special. 2 classic MyPillow, 2 Go Anywhere MyPillow, and you can get half off if you use my promo code KZOK. The number to call is 800-304-4756. That's 800-304-4756. And the 4-pack special you can get for using promo code KZOK. You can also go to the website mypillow.com. mypillow.com, promo code KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Target Zero. It's going to be cloudy today with on and off rain showers getting heavier into the afternoon and evening. Highs are going to be in the low 50s and it's currently 52 downtown Seattle. Drunk you doesn't make good decisions, so make a plan before you party and make sure to get home safe and sound. Let's reach our Target Zero goal together. 0 traffic deaths in your family, 0 traffic deaths in our state. Now back to Danny Bonaducci and Sarah on 102.5 KZOK.
It's a lot like going to work with no pants on. You got to wait till you get the big news of the day coming right up.
Some of the stories we'll be tackling: Donald Trump at it again, making some dubious claims yesterday. Another peculiar update to D.B. Cooper. And Danny is quite skilled at a wheeled mode of transportation. I hope he wasn't to blame for a theft making worldwide news.
The news too big to fit in your pants is brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE, or you can go online to goldbergjones.com.
Well, we talked about the Donald Trump State of the Union address.
Yeah, we did.
And how a lot of people tuned in. 45.6 million people.
The biggest State of the Union address in the history of America, which, by the way, was founded in 1704.
By Donald Trump.
By Donald Trump himself.
Well, Donald Trump did send out a tweet that reads, "Thank you for all of the nice compliments and reviews on the State of the Union speech. 45.6 million people watched, the highest number in history." Well, that's not true.
Right.
Not even close.
I'm sorry, I heard the theme song and I stopped for a second. Okay. No, it's not true. It's the eighth highest or something.
Number in history. Barack Obama's attracted 48 million viewers. In fact, President Clinton had pulled in 66.9 million
Wow.
in 1993. Bush pulled in 62.1 in 2003. But it's just not even close. So
Right.
who's feeding him the information? Because that's embarrassing.
For who?
I would think for Donald Trump to be that wrong.
Yeah, but you would think that, but I think you're wrong. I don't think he's embarrassed.
No, and I think he has accurate information, and then he just makes up
Right,
what
that's
he
what I
wants
think.
to say. Yeah.
I think the people tell him, hey, that was a great turnout. Like, I don't know, not quite as many as Obama, but still good. And he says, hey, you know what? I just got information way better than Obama. I think that's what he does.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been talking a little bit about D.B. Cooper.
Yeah.
And how there is new information. There is a huge number of people working on the case of D.B. Cooper. In fact, 40 people are on this team analyzing data. There was a letter that surfaced that they said was encrypted. They have broken the code. They believe they know who it is.
And these are journalists, right? Not law enforcement?
It's 40 people with different types of background, but no, the official case being done by the U.S. government closed.
Right.
Okay, so, and who's getting these letters?
It was now public information, and they said that the guy they believe is D.B. Cooper.
I'm sorry, I'm just a little lost. Who's they?
The 40-member cold case team. This is comprised of former FBI agents. This is comprised of people who are interested.
I'm just curious who the guy that might be D.B. Cooper sends letters to. Is it the press?
No,
Is it
these are
police?
old letters. So what part of the government closing the case was that they released a bunch of documents that had previously been unreleased.
Okay, still, who gets the letters?
The public.
So the
Public
press.
information. So the
No,
press
no,
has
where
gotten
they
it.
were addressed and mailed, right?
Oh, originally, when you're saying a long
Who
time
got
ago?
the letters?
I think they went to a newspaper. Is that
Okay.
correct?
I think they went to a newspaper in like 1972.
Okay, thank you.
And then they finally released all this information. So this group of people are analyzing all of the data. And they say once again, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, they have named Robert Rackstraw. But the news that has come out now this
As what?
week, D.B. Cooper.
Okay.
And that he had connections to the CIA and top secret operations. And the whole thing was a CIA cover-up.
Of what?
What were they covering
The
up?
CIA and the FBI covering up the identity of D.B. Cooper because he had all sorts of knowledge of secret ops. So it's a governmental conspiracy to hide the identity of D.B.
Of a guy
Cooper.
they've now named, you said.
Yes.
What's his name? Rackman?
Robert W. Rackstraw.
Rackstraw. And now he's named officially by the cops. That's D.B. Cooper.
Not by the cops, by a 40-member cold case team that is comprised of former FBI agents.
Did that guy, Rackstraw or whatever his name is, did he work for Boeing by any chance?
I think he did. I can't remember because they have changed their story so many times. But now the big news is that D.B. Cooper is Robert, and he was a secret op, and this whole thing is a cover-up by the government.
Okay, but by the way, I don't accept that as big news. I accept that as words to say that they've told us, but I don't believe it. Do you, Paul? Believe it's a big CIA cover-up or a
No,
robbery?
it just sounds too over the top.
Over the top.
Yeah.
I heard, and several times. First of all, I thought he died on impact. I don't think he got away. But although maybe they covered that up. But I had heard that he was a guy that worked at Boeing, knew all about these planes, figured it all out, and actually left some clues. His name was never D.B. Cooper. It was like David something Cooper, and they misread it. But I think it's interesting they've now named him, but you thought there'd be bigger fanfare after that. Like everybody was interested in this one.
Yeah.
Well, this guy went to the FBI's headquarters yesterday and gave a press conference, which is why it's in the news this morning. The guy who heads up that 40-person task force went up in front of the FBI and gave a big announcement of these most recent findings.
So is Rackstraw dead or alive? Are they going to go arrest him?
At this point, he is dead, but he was alive when
He's
he
going to
sent
be
that
alive
letter.
later. when he comes back to life, they're totally going to arrest him.
Angela Lansbury turned him in.
A Canadian man is crediting his knowledge of kung fu fighting with helping him survive a terrifying night with that man who is now being called the landscape killer. The guy who was killing people and then hiding them in the pots.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't get pots. I got gardens in the backyard. He folds them up, puts them in pots.
He was putting them
Gnarly.
in giant pots.
Like big planters and
Big
stuff.
planters.
I remember he was a baseball player, right? Big planter.
Yeah.
No?
Big Poppy.
Oh.
Well, he said that he went and met up with this guy, and they were on a date, and they then went to his van, and they were going to be driven to another location. He's like, do you want to, go back to my house? And he's like, okay. He's like, my van's right downstairs. And the guy goes out to his van, and he said first thing he noticed was really weird was the van was completely empty, like serial killer. That's
All
what
right.
he was thinking. Like, why is his van totally empty? He's like, well, he must use this to transport
Stuff for his gardening business, yeah.
Yeah, but you'd think there'd be some tools in there, some,
He's on a date. He
gardening
cleaned
tools,
up.
I guess.
Well, then
There's a tarp down. There's plastic
Yeah.
down for
See,
some
that
reason.
would throw me.
Yeah.
The handcuffs, I don't trust it.
Then they started to kiss a little bit, and he said that he.
So he's still into it. He's like,
Yeah.
the van's creepy,
Yeah,
but
you could be a killer, but you
Yeah.
might not kill me, so let's roll those dice.
He then.
I have continued to make out with chicks past the point where I realized they were dangerous. Like, I'm just
Yeah.
going to protect myself from
sometimes
whatever could happen here.
sometimes that can be more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About that.
Well, then he started to push his head down and hold him in a vice-like grip, and then he realized, uh-oh, this isn't going well. So
It's going well for somebody. I think.
He then used his martial arts expertise,
Yeah.
held him by the funny bone, making him release his grip, like the Vulcan grip.
Yeah, because you laugh so hard, you can't
Yeah.
hang on to anything.
So he grabbed his funny bone and got out of the. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
I get it now.
And now they realize that this guy was indeed the serial killer, and this was probably his next victim.
So they get him?
The serial killer is behind bars.
He's
yeah.
behind bars. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Got it.
Somebody at San Francisco Airport has stolen a unicycle used by the Red Panda acrobat for her plate juggling routine. She is now offering a reward. This is a 7-foot unicycle.
Yeah.
I don't even think you ride one that big, do you?
I have, yeah.
That's crazy.
It's just weird to get up and down from one, but they're
Is it the same to ride after that?
Once you figure out you're not dying, it's riding a unicycle.
Which doesn't seem easy to begin with.
No, it was a hassle to learn. Once you know, you kind of got it. So a red panda, which I've seen on the news, gets on one of those tall unicycles and juggles.
Yes. Well, she juggles plates that are on her head, all while balancing on her unicycle. She's been a regular performer at the Golden State Warriors, the Clippers, the Lakers. She's been on America's Got Talent. She has had this unicycle for 30 years and is heartbroken.
How do you walk off with a 7-foot unicycle?
And take it away from a bear.
Right. There are a lot of holes in this
And
story.
there are a lot of holes in the story because I happen to know the arms and legs radius of a red panda, and they can't ride a unicycle or juggle. But
Well,
if Sarah's saying it rode a unicycle and juggled, it apparently can. Are you looking it up?
No.
This is a woman named Rong Niu called the Red Panda. This is
Well, you
not
might
an
have thrown
actual.
She's not an actual panda?
You might have thrown that in.
An
your
actual
story
red
there.
panda?
It's the name of the company, the Red Panda Acrobat Company,
Right,
and they
right.
go
I
out.
get that now that
Okay.
you're saying those words.
I didn't know you guys thought a red panda, which is like the size of a fox, got on a 7.
That was what I didn't want to call you
It
on
seemed difficult. Yeah, we
But I
didn't
said
actually
I know-
think that.
I
We
said
thought
I
that was
know
crazy.
How long Paul, I said I know how long the arms and legs are of the red panda, and nobody corrected me. I've been out on this limb.
I was with you. I had a
Thank
red
you.
panda on the 7-foot unicycle that somebody put in their pocket and walked away with.
Apparently, the whole time it's just some chick that juggles.
We have a great story about the Philadelphia Eagles, but that will have to wait till our next news segment. But we do need to wrap up the big news of the day, which is brought to you by Goldberg Jones. Divorce for Men at 1-800-DIVORCE or online at goldbergjones.com.
Well, you can wrap it up, but you cannot change. What the hell am I promoting here?
the Beaver, it's time to
That's
call.
what I thought. Oh, you call right now.
Yeah, call
Man,
right now.
Time sure flies. 1-800-252-1025. If you know where Sarah's Beaver has been, you're going to win a $50 gift card to Jimmy Mac's Roadhouse, which is a delicious place. It's a nice beaver. $50. It's the way to go. Call now. 1-800-252-1025. Do. I enjoy it every time, man.
I do. I mean, I do.
Yeah, right. Looking around, all around town. Sarah's beaver was on Patches the Clown. Come on, Sarah, won't you give me a clue? I'll find your beaver and I'll be calling you. Where's Sarah's beaver? I gotta know. Where's Sarah's beaver? I gotta know. Where's Sarah's beaver? I want to win on Danny's show on KZOK. I feel like maybe I was screaming through that one. Was I a little too noisy in my rendition?
No, it was good.
Of course, you want to play Where Has Sarah's Beaver Been? Because the prize is a $50 gift card to Jimmy Mac's Roadhouse. Fabulous.
When are you coming back?
Let's see if Abe Simpson has seen where Sarah's Beaver has been this week.
First of all, where the hell have you been, Abe?
I've been sick. Anyway,
honey.
Sarah's beaver. Yeah, I had pneumonia. Anyway, Sarah's beaver was seen practicing her speech, her acceptance speech for her star on the Beaver Walk of Fame.
Well, it's a bit of a walk to get there, but I think that's where. Is that where she was?
I'm sorry, that is incorrect, Abe.
I'm sorry about
There's
that.
a groundhog walk of fame, but I don't think there's a beaver walk of fame.
That's
there should
crazy.
be.
We can change that.
There's a Kenosha, Wisconsin Walk of Fame. How is that possible?
Wayne, thank you very much for calling because we did miss you and well wishes. We hope you are feeling better soon. Sarah's Beaver has a Facebook page, facebook.com/Sarah's Beaver. We also post those pictures at KZOK.com. Somebody must have seen where she was this week. Let's check in with Gina in Bellevue.
Hey, Gina.
Hi.
What's up?
I think she was in Vegas.
Is that right, Paul?
Yeah, she was in Vegas. We were having a heck of a time.
You took the beaver to Vegas?
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a picture of the beaver at KZOK.com with two lovely ladies who I had to pay for the privilege of taking a picture with the beaver, which I didn't know was a thing, but
What are these ladies doing?
Not wearing a lot of clothes.
Oh. Were they on the street?
They were on the street, yeah.
I saw my last trip to Vegas. They were like naked women. They with pasties on the street, dressed like cops. And I went up to one of them and said, I don't believe you're a real officer. She said, go away from me.
Well, now they're dressed like cops, or I don't know what it is exactly, because they're not wearing much clothes, and posing with a beaver at KZOK.com.
All right, Gina, you are correct. You are going to the Jeep Winners window to pick up your prize of a $50 gift card to Jimmy Mac's Roadhouse. Thanks for playing.
This traffic report is brought to you by Walgreens. Seeing some pretty long delays with some stop-and-go traffic on I-5 southbound between Highway 524 and James Street. And we're also seeing some pretty bad traffic on 405 northbound through Renton between Highway 515 and 8th Street. Looking about a 40-minute delay in that area. When is the best time for a cold? Never. Luckily, Walgreens is right around the corner with the right relief fast. With Walgreens brand cold and flu products, you'll get effective multi-symptom relief you can trust. Swing by your local Walgreens today and start feeling better. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Love, it's forever, but only one jeweler in town has engagement rings and wedding bands that are made with superior quality and ones that are made to last a lifetime. Shane Company. They also stand behind that quality forever. You are going to get a warranty for free from Shane Company. When you shop at the store in Linwood, you are going to notice the superior craftsmanship in the Shane Company jewelry. They have an amazing collection of engagement rings and wedding bands. And guys, yes, they've got them for you too. If you are ready to get married, go on in there and pick out your wedding bands. If you're thinking about getting engaged, go on in and see the amazing collection of engagement rings. They are unique. They are beautiful, and you're going to get treated so well. They have the most amazing customer service. People always rave about the customer service. They don't work on commission, so they're going to help you find the rings that are perfect for you. You can also shop online at shaneco.com, but don't forget, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business, Shane Company.
It is 8:03 in the morning, and I would like to invite you guys. It's tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow from noon to 2, yeah.
So come on out. It's at the boat show on South Lake Union. It's right there. There's going to be parking and all sorts of stuff, and I'm going to taking on all comers at the Cornhole Challenge.
Yeah, there'll be lots of games.
That I just invented, the Cornhole Challenge. I mean,
Right.
there'll be cornhole to play anyway. We toss those beanbags and stuff. But I have now invented the Cornhole Challenge. So South Lake Union tomorrow between noon and 2 at the Seattle Boat Show, which is going to be bitchin'.
Well, we all saw the video of the porch pirate. We've seen lots of those videos, but in particular, this one, the porch pirate steals a package, runs away, and slips and falls and really hurts herself on the lawn as she flees.
It doesn't look like that.
Not at first, no. When
Until
she tries to get
doesn't-
back up.
Until
yeah.
she doesn't get up and run. And then you go, oh, good. And I hate to admit it, but I'm rooting for her being hurt. I hate these porch pirate guys.
Yeah. Well, and you do hate them, obviously, but you also found that kind of funny, a kind of poetic justice.
Yeah.
But it's one of those moments where you laugh a lot at people hurting themselves, and you shouldn't.
No, and that happens all the time.
Yeah, Paul.
What? Okay,
With
so I do that all the
Danny's
time.
wife.
Yeah, Danny's wife.
I was laughing with Amy, not at Amy. I mean, she wasn't always there when I watched it over and over again.
But sometimes you do laugh at inappropriate things or at inappropriate times.
I laughed at my grandfather's funeral.
Oh.
And I liked him. My family liked him. We all
Yeah.
got along. He was on my mother's side. A real gentleman, a real class guy. But all of a sudden, and I don't know if it was my sister who went first, because my sister's kind of the arbiter of all things grown up. I don't know if she giggled first or I did, but whatever it was, it caught on.
Oh, that's
and you
the
know how
worst.
that's like a thing? Once it's happening, there's nothing you can do about the giggles.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the three Bondici boys that were there, I'm not sure if Anthony was there or not, but or the Bondici kids, rather, my sister, were giggling. And what made it worse is we're trying to hide it. So now our shoulders are doing that weird shake thing. We got our hands over our mouth, which is often going. It was a terrible time, and we loved the guy.
Yeah. Well, once you start, you can't stop, for sure. Well, what about you listening? When have you laughed at an inopportune or inappropriate time? We've all done it. Let us know your story. Call 800-252-1025.
We have all seen the footage of the porch pirate falling down, and we all snickered a little bit, laughed a little bit. I don't know if it was just because she fell down and that's funny, or I heard the news guy say the word coccyx on the radio. I thought, well, that's funny. The girl heard her coccyx. That's always funny. But whatever it was minorly inappropriate to laugh, and apparently we all do it. So when was the last time that you laughed inappropriately? 1-800-252-1025.
Good morning to Luke and Anna Cordes.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you for having me on.
Pleasure. What's up?
So, I went with two of my sisters to go see Armageddon in the theaters when it first came out. And I was sitting in between both of them. And there at the very end, when Bruce Willis decides to sacrifice himself for the rest of the team and the world, Ben Affleck's crying. And so I turned to one of my sisters on one side to make a comment of, oh, look, Ben Affleck's crying again in another movie. And she was crying. And so I turned to the other side to make the comment to my other sister, and she was crying, tears coming down their face. So I busted out laughing out loud. I'm the only guy in the silent theater just laughing hysterically.
All right. First of all, that is a well-told story. But second of all, and I think we can go on the silent 4. If I'm right about this, we can all do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Spoiler alert. But you know what? I mean, that movie was most meant to be serious, but Ben Affleck and Bruce Willis are mining and drilling on an asteroid in space.
Yeah.
You can laugh at that and be okay with me. Thanks, Luke.
Have you laughed at an inappropriate time? That's the question we're asking. Let's talk to Ken in Seattle.
Hey, Ken.
Good morning, you people.
What do you mean, you people?
Hey, so my wife and I, we've been married for 30 years, and I still do this because it's funny as hell. She'll get really super duper pissed at me. She'll get up in my face and be yelling at me, and her nose will crinkle up. And every time it does, I just find it adorable, and I kind of laugh.
Wow.
Which ticks her off even more.
Yeah, I bet.
Absolutely. But that's kind of awesome.
bold.
And I like they've been together 30 years, man. My wife and I have been together about 10 years now. And we used to do this all the time, but we do it a lot less these days. That's what I thought he was going to tell us. But apparently, she crinkles her nose, which sounds adorable.
It
over the phone.
does. And I love that he still finds it adorable all these years later. Charlie in Auburn, when have you laughed at an inappropriate time?
Good morning, you people.
What do you mean, you people?
My story actually was my sister and I were on my dad's deathbed just about 2 years ago, and he was actually getting ready to pass away, and my sister all of a sudden lets a fart go. And my dad pops up, and it was like, oh, my God, he's alive. We both started just busting out laughing. Then afterwards, we're looking at each other going, did we just laugh at Dad dying? It was just hilarious.
Well, let me help you out of your moral quandary. No, you didn't laugh at your dad dying. You laughed at your sister farting, and I think any red-blooded American would.
Right.
I'm laughing at your sister farting right now.
Yeah.
Mary in Marysville, have you laughed at an inappropriate time?
Yes, my husband and I had just purchased a stingray boat, brand new. Took it out on the Columbia River with my son and daughter, and she was about 13. My son was about 16. And she began to throw bread to the seagulls, and they swarmed the top of the boat. Well, my husband says, well, he says, Sarah, quit feeding the seagulls. They're going to poop on the boat. And so she waited till he looked away and kept doing it, and 2 seagulls splattered her right on top of her head, poop running down her hair, onto her forehead, and the whole family cracked up so hard.
Well, not the whole family, not your daughter. I bet she didn't find it funny.
It's not quite your sister farting at your dad to death, but the seagull poop, that's a pretty good story.
Yeah.
I went to a Mariners game with Rick Jones,
Rick Jones.
and Gibbons and a whole
Gibbons!
group of people.
A whole group of people.
What is happening to you?
It's Friday, man.
I know what that means.
It was in between innings, and seagulls started swarming, and an eagle pooped right on me.
An eagle?
I'm sorry, a
seagull?
seagull pooped right on me, and Rick Jones busts out laughing, and then he has this look of horror because he's afraid that I'm mad that he's laughing, and then I start busting out laughing because what else can you do when a seagull poops on your head?
That's pretty much it. When the seagull poops on your head, you can just laugh,
Yeah.
grin and bear it.
He was super afraid that I was gonna freak out and storm out of the game.
I accidentally hooked a seagull in the mouth with a
Ooh.
fishing pole once. Not on an all-day boat in the ocean, the Pacific, and you cast, and I'm okay at casting, but it shouldn't have arced way up as high as it did, but it still would have been a good cast, except for the seagull that grabbed the little piece of bait right out of the air and grabbed it.
Wow.
And you have to reel it in to let it go, otherwise it's going to have a hook in its mouth for the rest of his life. So I had to reel it in. It was a horror show, and I got to tell you, Dave was cracking up. My buddy Dave was going, "Hey, catch a seal next. It'll be hysterical." Bastard.
Artie in Yakima, have you laughed at an inappropriate time?
Well, it wasn't me. It was my brother.
Okay.
We were dirt biking in Phoenix, Arizona when I lived down there. And I was going up a hill and got stuck. And I was backing my motorcycle back down and fell into what is known as a teddy bear or jumping cactus. So I was sitting there and my brother's laughing so hard that he's laying on the ground and I can't get up because I've got my rear end is full of cactus.
Oh. So ODB got it.
It's definitely one of those, somebody's getting hurt and you can't stop
You
yourself
can't
from
stop.
laughing.
No, that happens. That happens all the time. My friend Neil in Chicago used to think it was the height of comedy. Like he couldn't control not just people slipping on ice, although he did find that funny, but old people slipping on. And I would say,
that's not
dude,
funny.
they're gonna break their hip and die. And he said, I'm not responsible for that. I just think it's funny.
Yeah, he wasn't pushing the old people
No,
over.
right.
I mean, he would
far as you know,
probably.
yeah.
Tony and Everett, when did you laugh at an inappropriate time?
Well, I guess it was the mid-'70s when The Exorcist first came out. And it was a point in the movie where everybody was on the edge of their seats, ready to pee their pants, and she spewed out the green vomit. And my reaction was, I just burst out laughing.
Do you know, I was at a theater one time. I was even going to tell you guys this morning, and I thought, I wonder if somebody else will call in with this. I was in a theater, and there must have been 3 or 4 people laughing all the way through, specifically The Exorcist.
Really?
Scariest movie I ever saw at the time. Yeah, people find it, some people found it funny. Like, for example, Tony found it hysterical.
I get the vomiting, the green pea soup.
Yeah,
Split
vomiting
pea soup,
green
whatever.
pea, that's weirder.
Split pea soup.
Should see a doctor if you're vomiting green pea, really.
But that movie was scary.
Scariest thing. In the long run, I say Jaws is scarier than The Exorcist because I'm still scared of that shark. You put me in the ocean, I go, where's that shark? And I'm never scared of the devil, or at least rarely. But at the time, I was so scared of that movie.
What about Dave in Federal Way?
Hey, Dave.
Hop a day from Guam, guys. Good morning.
Morning.
1998, October 6th, my birthday. There's a place on Guam called Magundus. It's a real good surf spot. It was like 10 to 15 feet that day. And I was getting pounded inside the power section, and I was drowning, swallowing water. I finally made it out of the surf there and was laying there on the rocks, and I was laughing and laughing and laughing. And it said, "Not today, God, not today."
Wow.
Wow, a deep spiritual story from Alba Dave from Federal Way.
Wasn't expecting
Me
that.
either.
Thought for sure there was some Brazilian.
What was it?
jiu-jitsu
Where
in
was he
there.
getting pounded?
in the surf.
Hey.
What
Guam.
about Annie calling from University Place?
Hey, Annie.
Hi.
Hi.
So, several years ago, when my husband and I first started dating, like 15 years ago now, I made one of those like mixed CDs, downloaded a bunch of music, and we were in the middle of some stuff, and I didn't realize that I had accidentally dragged and dropped the Proclaimers, "I Will Walk 5,000 Miles" into this. So instantly, both of us, just without missing a beat, just lost it. Just
I don't know why that's the biggest mistake in the world.
That's funny.
I love that song.
That's not like a slow jam.
And I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500
It is a love song, right?
Because he
Not
wants
so
to be the man
much.
that's heveling with you.
Yeah.
Which is important, to hevel with the right person.
Sam in Everett, hello.
How are you guys?
We're well, thank you very much. What do you got for us?
Years ago, I was about 13, and I live up here in Washington. Went down to see my sister in Louisiana, and she was real proud that her little brother came, so she took me to church. We're sitting right in the front row, right in front of the pastor.
Yeah.
And this time,
That's a weird way to place to do it.
Pastor, I didn't even know she was going slow. Sorry.
Go ahead, Sam.
It was like a Southern Baptist church, and he opens his mouth and he talks about the divine power of Jesus. And I started cracking up. He said the divine power of Jesus, and it was just that accent was
was really, really tight, whatever. And I just couldn't stop laughing, and it was very embarrassing. It was like that.
Did you freak out later? Because if I laughed at somebody talking to me about the divine power of Jesus, I would think, well, that's it. I'm going to hell now. I'm going to get struck by lightning or be in a horrible car crash. Were you comfortable once you laughed in the face of my Savior? I mean, Jesus?
Actually, at the end of that, you know how the pastor shakes hands with everybody?
Yeah.
I told him I'm sorry, and he says, Ben, you have a funny accent.
Oh, that's hysterical, man.
Tori, has this happened to you? Did you laugh at something that you shouldn't have been?
Oh my gosh. So I was at a happy hour and I had a friend stop by, and the first thing out of their mouth is, I lost my job. And I thought they said, I got a job. And then I was like, oh, cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. And then they're like, no, I lost my job. And so I start laughing, but at the same time, I'm trying to frown. So it was just really, really awkward.
That's a tough one. That's an emotional conundrum right there.
Derek, have you laughed at an inappropriate time?
I was at McDonald's with a friend, and for some reason, he took the challenge of eating an entire cheeseburger in 1 or 2 bites. And as soon as he tried to complete that challenge, he starts choking on the cheeseburger, and he's doing these wild hand gestures that I couldn't figure out what he was doing. So I just started laughing at him, thinking he was being goofy, but he was actually reaching out to grab my soda so he could have something to drink to wash it down. And I just didn't realize it, so I just kept laughing, and then he almost died. But luckily he didn't, because it wouldn't be a funny story if he died.
Yeah, I don't know the guy.
This traffic report is brought to you by Phillips Law Firm. Things are messy in Linwood on I-5 southbound between 52nd Avenue as you make your way down into Seattle by James Street, seeing about a 45-minute delay. And also on I-405 northbound between Highway 515 and 8th Street in Renton, seeing about a 40-minute delay there as well. Auto accidents can happen anytime, all the time. If you or a loved one have been injured in a car accident, call Phillips Law Firm today for a free case evaluation. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Target Zero. We're going to get more showers today. It's going to be heavier as the day progresses. Highs in the low 50s, and it's currently 52 downtown Seattle. Drunk you doesn't make good decisions, so make a plan before you party and make sure to get home safe and sound. Let's reach our Target Zero goal together. 0 traffic deaths in your family, 0 traffic deaths in our state. Now back to Danny Bonaducci and Sarah on 102.5 KZOK.
A 53-year-old man was stabbed on a Metro bus near 4th Avenue South and South Lander Street yesterday afternoon. Seattle Fire says the victim was transported in stable condition to Harborview. The suspect stabbed the victim in the abdomen.
Yikes.
They said that the victim is conscious and alert at Harborview. They have a description of the suspect, and they have not disclosed a motive if they know.
If they know one, yeah.
Yeah.
Public transportation. That's the motive right there, just being on a bus.
It
Drove them crazy.
Yeah.
It can be a little aggravating.
I've heard that, and I'm not a big bus rider, but I've heard that you're so jam-packed in there, and that's why they pack you in there, that it doesn't give you arm room to stab people.
Yikes.
You can pick their pocket, but you can't stab.
Yeah.
Coffee drinkers will now have a new way to get their caffeine buzz.
Intravenously.
Starbucks is launching a co-branded Visa credit card.
Oh, that's less exciting than needles.
This will allow you to rack up points, their system, they call them stars, and those will then be redeemable for drinks and food at Starbucks.
But it's a straight up like a MasterCharge or Visa.
It's a Visa
so you
card.
can spend it everywhere, not just Starbucks.
Yes, but
Neat.
it's like with American Express, for example, they have a point system that you accrue for the money you spend. Same thing with Starbucks, only it will be stars, and you will be able to get, like, if I go buy $10 at Fred Meyer,
Right.
then that can go towards redeeming
Now,
in
my
Starbucks.
my American Express gives me miles, and so does my Visa MasterCard. This just gives you cups of coffee?
So instead of miles or instead of cash back, the incentive is free coffee. Points towards free coffee.
Yep.
I don't think I like it as much.
Well, I would imagine people who like coffee so much that they drink it multiple times a day would be more into it than, you travel more, you want the miles. They drink coffee 5 times a day, they want the coffee.
That's quite
If they drink coffee 5 times a day, I don't even know them.
Police believe a school shooting that injured 5 people near downtown Los Angeles yesterday was accidental, but the 12-year-old girl responsible is still in custody.
Yeah, she still brought a gun to school, whether she meant to shoot that guy in the head or not.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to figure out, why did she have a gun in her backpack? It was a semi-automatic handgun. She brought it to Salvador Castro Middle School in her backpack. And the classmates say the gun went off and she told a classmate, I didn't mean to. I had the gun in my backpack. I didn't know it was loaded.
Now, I had heard a lot of those guns during when I was getting weapons trained when I was a security guard. And you'll see it a lot if you look closely at the semi-automatic weapon, say the Glock, although I don't know if I mean a Glock. I mean a gun that looks like that. If you look at cops' guns every now and again, the hammer's cocked back.
Yeah.
Well, that seems like that could go off any second. But what they say is you need to pull the trigger, but just pulling the trigger won't work. You also have to have your hand, which also depresses something in the handle.
Right. So a lot of times there's a grip safety.
Right.
So that if you're not actually gripping the weapon, but it depends. I mean, there's some that you could fire by dropping.
Yeah, but what is the appropriate gun for a 12-year-old girl to bring to school?
None. Zero.
Right.
Well, the most seriously injured student was a 15-year-old boy in the classroom next door who was shot in the head but is expected to make a full recovery.
Now, this is rhetorical, by the way. I don't expect anybody to say, oh, yeah. But does anybody know who Salvador Castro is and why he gets to school?
I don't.
Me either.
No.
Sounds like a commie and a painter.
That's Salvador Dali.
See, that's one.
Derek, who is Salvador Castro in Los Angeles?
He was a Mexican-American educator and activist. He was most well-known for his role in the 1968 East Los Angeles High School walkouts, a series of protests against unequal conditions in the LA school district.
Nice.
Oh,
All right. Well,
okay.
now we know that.
He deserves a school.
He does deserve a school. He doesn't deserve a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Only you
Sorry,
deserve
he
a
has
star on
one.
the
Not
Hollywood Walk of
only
Fame.
me, but I deserve the next one.
San Francisco will retroactively apply California's marijuana legalization laws to past criminal cases. That's according to the DA. They said they will expunge or reduce misdemeanor and felony convictions going back decades. According to the prosecutors, or the district attorney rather, the move will affect thousands of people whose marijuana convictions brand them with criminal histories that could then hurt their chances of finding jobs or getting governmental benefits.
Good. I think this is very smart.
And they said that some of these convictions will go back as far as 1975, and it's just aimed to help people.
I think that is a great thing.
agree.
As we realize to hold certain things harmless, we need to also then hold the people that we grabbed with them harmless and let them out of jails and stop ruining their prospects. You know what? You could never, with a one lousy marijuana thing, of all the things you can't do, you couldn't adopt a kid.
Crazy.
You know, you could have a perfectly nice home.
Tesla is expanding its solar division across Home Depot stores.
See?
See?
I was very excited to mention that this morning. I was very excited about this. I said I wanted one of those more than I wanted the flamethrower.
That's right. Well, it's a lot more practical. This is an expansion that will help Tesla test the appeal of its renewable energy products to a wider audience. Home Depot will allow them some floor space to sell these new products. They said that while it's not their product, it's Tesla's product,
Right.
they will allow them to sell it in their stores.
Home Depot doesn't really sell their brands, do they?
It's like setting up a mini store inside of Home Depot.
Right.
So you're going to be able to go into Home Depot and buy Tesla
I'm
product.
a super big fan of solar energy. I've read about it. I understand what it does. They announced in the news this morning that a good solar system for your house will be between $10,000 and $25,000. I've found it to be more than that. But so what? It seems great. But here's the one thing I read about that shocked me. We have a thriving solar energy community here in Seattle where people are making real money. So it's like, I got to see more sun than this. I
Yeah.
don't believe what you're telling me.
Right.
But I hear they're great here.
Yeah. When I was in Australia a couple months ago, I was surprised how many in Adelaide have solar panels. Like I took a tram, about a 45-minute tram ride. I would say 1 out of every 3 houses had solar panels. And it makes sense because there's so much sun there.
And the other 2/3 of the houses had no electricity at all. So.
A Louisiana man was pulled over for driving the wrong way down a one-way street and had to be hospitalized after they gave him a breathalyzer. Now, they initially pulled him over, and they said, okay, do that test, stand on one leg.
Right,
and
I'm excited
do
about
all that
this.
stuff. He eventually said, I give up. I'm going to go to jail anyways. Just gave up halfway through.
Right.
He blew into the breathalyzer. 0.419.
Wow, crazy. I'm surprised he can still talk to say I'm failing this.
Yep. He then started to act lethargic and had poor coordination, so they took him to the hospital. Crazy.
Why are we playing Zydeco music?
Louisiana.
Gotcha. I just love me some Zydeco. Thank you, Derek.
Police are looking for the brawlers involved in a wild melee at a New Jersey Denny's. It sent chairs crashing into plates of pancakes, and diners had to duck for cover. They don't know what sparked the fight, but there is video footage that shows more than a dozen people not having a food fight, having a furniture fight.
That sounds kind of fun.
The guy that had the moons over my hammy wanted to fight with the guy that had the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity.
Yeah.
They just went at it.
In Florida, authorities say a grenade launcher loaded with a live grenade was left with donated items at a Florida Goodwill store. Employees arrived to work in the morning and went over to the donation area where they saw this strange contraption. Someone said, well, that's our grenade launcher. Oh, that's a grenade inside. They had to call authorities to the scene to clear it out. They then had to go through all of the area to make sure they hadn't dropped off anything else inappropriate.
Yeah.
Who does that?
People that are tired of their grenade launchers. Who else that want to give it to charity? There's some guys, they're working hard, they're having a hard time of it, they've been laid off, and they don't have a grenade launcher. That guy wanted to get that back in their hands.
And the other guy who had one, he wants the tax write-off, right? For making that donation.
Exactly right.
Goodwill should advertise they have things like this. I'd go there a lot more
I'd
often.
go. I would totally go.
And a 27-year-old man was taken into custody after allegedly making a bomb threat.
Oh,
Go ahead, Jelly Bean. You can say it.
Yeah.
Florida. She's
Florida.
right. We didn't give an old Florida for the grenade launcher.
Go to school, kid.
Yeah, why is she still listening at 8:45?
We're just that good.
So a 27-year-old man called the sheriff's office. He said the county administration building, you better watch out. There's a bomb. It turns out that his girlfriend worked there, and he was trying to get her out of work. So he called it a bomb threat.
It's a pretty far length to go to get your girlfriend off.
Well, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I got to think of other attacks I would take.
Well, you know what happens with these stories. You're doing it from your own phone or from your cell phone, your own computer. They track you down. He's arrested.
One of the funnier lines in Bad Neighbors, I think it was Seth Rogen or whoever Seth Rudensky, whatever that movie was.
Yeah.
He lived next door to a fraternity house.
Right.
And he calls the police, but he says they can't know it's us. So he calls and he says, there's a person going on next door and you should arrest him. And he comes over and says, did you call the police right in front of him? He goes, no, I didn't call the police. And Hannibal Buress, the cop, says, we're the police. We have caller ID. Everybody has caller ID. Ruining crank calls for everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Police in Spain say the hunt for a black panther reportedly roaming around a neighborhood ended with the discovery of a suspicious culprit, a black dog.
Yeah.
Not an actual Black Panther.
It wasn't a black panther.
I would have guessed that though. My dog once, my favorite Great Dane, Alexander Haig, twice a year somebody would call in a tiger in the neighborhood.
Well, several people called. Everybody was really freaked out about the Black Panther. And they said, yeah, it's just a black dog, man. And there are other people in the neighborhood who still contend it was a panther. And I can get sometimes these animals look similar, but one's going to be a lot more dangerous than the other.
And I'd like to, just before anybody thinks I might be crazy, I would not like to fight a black panther.
No?
Nope, they're big and they're scary. I'd fight Michael B. Jordan. He's a lot younger than I am, and he looks to be in really good shape in that movie. But I'd just like to go on record as I'm not fighting all wild animals, and I'm not fighting a panther.
Maybe that's the thing. It's just Black Panther hysteria. People are so excited for that film that they're calling the authorities.
That could be it.
We're actually going to have passes for a very special exclusive screening to that movie next week.
Really?
To give away. And well before the movie comes out, you'll get to go see it if you win from us.
Fancy. A lot of anticipation surrounding that
I want
movie.
to see it. What is that lady? Very successful African-American actress. I think she might have won an Academy Award for The
Lupita
Help.
Nyong'o. Octavia Spencer.
Okay, I'm going to go with but I'm not positive. But she just said on the news this morning that she was renting out this theater in Mississippi to show people that really want to see that movie but can't afford to go to the movies with their whole family. That was cool.
Yeah, nice.
At a Sotheby's auction, a 50-year-old bottle of Yamazaki single malt whiskey shattered records. Previously, the most expensive bottle of Japanese whiskey ever sold was a similar bottle that went for $129,000.
Wow.
This one.
That guy must have had a yen for whiskey.
$299,000.
That is a single malt. They didn't even throw in some extra malts. It was one malt. Anybody could do one malt.
Now, there are people who try to keep their eyes open to find out what's the next big investment when it comes to whiskey bottles. And there's clubs you can join, but it's a crapshoot because you never know what it's going to age like.
Well, I will tell you this, and there is single malt whiskey there. Don't we have a Whiskey Rocks Northwest thing coming up?
We do, yeah.
And you can taste single malt whiskeys, which are a fortune, by the way, at the store. You just taste these things. My friend asked me, asked my friend what he wanted to drink one time. I was young and had no money too, the bastard. And he said, I'll just have a Macallan's 12 single malt. And just the shot, this is 25 years ago minimum, was $30.
Woo.
Yeah. So you could have those for the price of admission, which is very reasonable, by the way.
It's
WhiskeyRocksNW.com is where you find out all the details.
WhiskeyRocksNW.com.
Yeah, March 10th. It's coming right up.
When I went last year, I tried one that I've talked about a couple times, Whistling Pig. And I remember trying so many different ones. I had some of the Macallan. But I was like, this is my jam. Like, this tastes perfect for me. So I decided I'm going to go buy a bottle. It was $80.
Yeah, it's no kidding.
Oh, I got to try it for free. And, that's one of the great things. You get to try and decide what you like and what you can afford. I did not buy a bottle. It was
No.
$80 a lot if you're not.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't know if I would buy it as like, let's say I was drinking. I never quit drinking. Would I go buy that? No, because I would drink a bottle like that in 2.5 days.
Yeah.
So I would never invest in something that expensive.
And we know that there's a little football game happening this weekend. There is a video that has a lot of people talking. It's a girl named Haley Parks who had dental surgery. Now, when you have your wisdom teeth removed, it's a pretty big deal, and you get anesthesia. Well, as you know, with anesthesia, sometimes people have a funny reaction when they come out of it.
Sure.
So this is Haley Parks from Philadelphia. She's swollen. She's just being woken up from anesthesia, and this is the audio.
Did I miss the Super Bowl? No. Super Bowl. Oh my God. No, you didn't miss the Super Bowl. Are you sure? Mm-hmm. I want the Eagles to win so bad. Who do you want to win? The Eagles to win
The Eagles.
Okay, well, they'll play on Sunday, okay? Can I go? No, we don't have money for a ticket.
Can I go?
Sure you can.
Eagles, Patriots, Sunday. And to talk with us more, the Gas Man will be joining us in just about 15 minutes to give us some more highlights about what will be happening.
Yay, gas man.
It's Friday.
I know what that means.
It's time for the Friday Fun Fact.
Woo!
Our Friday Fun Fact for today does involve the Super Bowl. According to the National Chicken Council, during this year's Super Bowl parties, Americans will consume an estimated 1.35 billion chicken wings.
How's that even possible?
It's crazy.
It is an all-time high. And the council
That's
says...
how it's possible. We're all-time high.
It only-
We're so high, we're eating all the chicken
It only
wings.
makes sense to me if the chickens could regrow wings. Like, it seems like you kill 11 billion chickens to make their wings. I guess you have to kill 6.5 billion or 5.5 billion chickens to get whatever. But the fact is, it seems like you run out of chickens, doesn't it?
Does it include the boneless wings that aren't
Nope.
necessarily wings?
If you took 1.35 billion wings and laid them end to end, they would go from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia and Gillette Stadium. It would go back and forth 250 times. It would also be enough wings to put 625 chicken wings on every seat in all 32 NFL stadiums.
Why would you do any of these things? That seems laborious at the very least. But I don't know that I'll eat them on Super Bowl Sunday, but I'm a big fan of wings. I think they're yummy and delicious.
It is just a
Which one of our
tradition.
guys owns Wingstop or Wing Bowl? Or
There's a
Richard
couple
Sherman?
of Seahawks players and former Seahawks players, but Richard Sherman does own a
Richard
location.
Sherman. Which one does he own?
I think he owns the one in Tequila. I'm not
Well,
positive.
I'm gonna go there exclusively.
I'm not sure if that's for sure the one.
Then that's bad information, Paul. Fake news.
I thought it was
Sydney
West
Rice owns a
Seattle.
couple.
I just thought in general the name of the store. It's Wingstop.
Wingstop.
Yes,
okay,
Wingstop
cool,
is
cool.
the
Because there's others.
chain.
There's Wing Dome. There's a lot of people treading on Mr. Sherman's name.
Sure,
I think.
but if you go to the Wingstop in Ballard, you will not be going to one of his. He doesn't own the company. They're franchises. So
Right.
we want to make sure we send you to his.
Unlike Pizza Manning, who owns 24 Pizza Huts. Not actually Pizza Hut.
Papa John's.
Same thing.
As I said, it's Friday.
Yes,
So
Paul?
Richard Sherman owns one in North Seattle and one in Westwood Village in West Seattle.
Terrific.
Go to both of them.
No, I did actually. I wanted to know that. That's cool.
It's a free concert Friday. We have your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Journey and Def Leppard at the Gorge. Your chance to win those tickets coming very, very, very soon.
This traffic report is brought to you by the UPS Store. On Mercer Island I-90 westbound, we do have some stop-and-go traffic between Island Crest Way and Rainier Avenue, and seeing about a 40-minute delay on I-5 southbound as you make your way between Highway 104 and James Street in Seattle. Your P.O. Box may be sending the wrong message. The UPS Store gives you a real street address, package acceptance from all shipping carriers, notify you of their arrival, and provide 24-hour access. Visit theupsstore.com to find a location near you. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
All right, when you get to be a real live grown up, one of the side effects of that is your parents start to notice they're getting older. And my mom, and I'm assuming some of your parents, really want to stay in their own home, even though they're 75, 80, 85. My mom, 93. You can't take care of them 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. What are you going to do? Well, I will tell you this, my friends. Get a hold of Servewell at servewell.com. They're a matchmaking service for senior care in the Puget Sound area. Servewell is going to help make it possible for your parents to stay in the comfort of their own home, which is what they want to do in the first place. But there is a responsibility, and there is still a way to help. Go to servewell.com, choose your service, choose your caregiver, choose price, and Servewell vets those caregivers through background checks, verified certifications, interviews, and the like. Servewell even has a mobile app that provides real-time status updates for time. Let you know what time those caregivers get there. So whether it's housekeeping, personal care, grocery shopping, meal prep, and the big one, medications, in my book anyway, Servewell.com will help you out. Watching our parents age can be stressful. Let Servewell ease your mind. Check them out at Servewell.com.
Hey, congratulations to Jennifer in Marysville. She was listening. She is our free concert Friday winner, picking up her tickets at the Jeep Winners window in our lobby, too. Journey and Def Leppard in September at the Gorge because it's free concert Friday. Plenty more chances to win all day. Frances Bean Cobain, who is the daughter of Kurt and Courtney, posted an Instagram video yesterday that has a lot of people talking. Now, because she is the daughter of those two, maybe it's no surprise that she has a voice of her own. But this video is her singing an a cappella rendition of Leonard Cohen's classic Hallelujah, and it sounds like this.
Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played, and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah.
Do we have a gong sound effect?
You don't like it?
No, I hate it. This is brilliant. This is a genius song.
Why do you hate the rendition?
Because she's doing the thing that Star Search people or American Idol people do, where songs don't go like this. They don't go, they go, like, shut up, sing a note. What's wrong with you?
Taking a big song and making it even bigger for no reason.
For no reason. That song stood the test of time all by itself.
Tori, you're a big
I
fan
thought
of...
I was against it when I heard it in Shrek. I thought, now, wow, but it was a beautiful rendition.
Tori, you're a big fan of Frances Bean. Did you like the rendition?
I thought it was pretty, but I don't know. I really like Jeff Buckley's version.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
It's the best. I mean, honestly.
So basically, when I say no, I mean no. But when you say yes, you mean no.
Well, it's not bad. I think it's pretty.
Jeff Buckley's version is better than Leonard Cohen's own version.
Yeah, completely.
Well, Leonard wasn't a big singer, was he?
Well, haven't heard anyone sing that song anywhere close to Jeff Buckley.
He's not the Shrek guy, is he?
No, he's dead.
The Shrek guy, who sang it in Shrek, was a brilliant rendition.
Wasn't Mike Myers?
No.
No. It wasn't Eddie Murphy.
Shrek doesn't sing the song. It's in the song, and it's a beautiful rendition. It just doesn't need all that fancy pants. My dad and my mom are rock stars.
It says the artist from the Shrek rendition was Rufus Wainwright.
Yeah, he does. And it's genius.
Ozzy and Jack's World Detour is coming back for a third season.
Jeez.
A&E has ordered 8 episodes of the father-son reality series that stars Ozzy Osbourne and his son Jack. The premiere is slated for the summertime. So the first 2 seasons have gone well, and so much so they are renewing it for a third.
I didn't give that show much credit. I think Jack Osbourne had a show called Man Up, and he went and did manly things around the world. And I said, "You're an idiot, rich, kept child. Shut up." And then he went to Thailand, and he's about to get in the ring with a Thai fighter, and everybody does that. And I thought, this is stupid too. And the guy beat his brains in, and he kept getting up.
Wow.
And that won me right over. Like, first of all, stop getting up. He's killing you.
Yeah.
But the fact that he could take that, this is a privileged child that didn't have to take that kind of beating, I was fairly impressed with that.
If you get an email from Netflix, you might want to use caution when opening. Police around the country are warning of a phishing scam that includes an official-looking email asking Netflix users to restart their membership. The email claims that Netflix couldn't validate their billing information and then asks for your credit card information, and Netflix says it is all bogus. They said you can always see the real linked website at the bottom of the browser, and you'll be able to notice that this is a fake website.
Cool.
It's got an extra E in there. It's Neatflix.
Yeah.
It is something like that, but it's the same font and it's the same color.
A theater in New York is telling patrons if they want to go to the movies, you can bring your dog. They're having Dog Movie Week from February 11th through the 17th.
Are they just showing Benji over and over again?
The Best in Show, Must Love Dogs, The Artist, and Bolt.
You know what I don't like very much about Benji and Lassie and Rin Tin Tin?
What?
They all have stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. All of them.
Yeah.
All of them. I could fight Benji.
You could.
The little tiny stupid dog.
But it's pretty fun that you could go to the movies with your dog, watch
Yes.
a dog movie with your dog.
And is it like one screening or one whole week?
It's a whole week
Wow.
of dog movies with your dog.
Can I take my peacock? Because that's in the news.
No.
You can buy dog biscuits at the concession stand for like $11 a piece.
Neat.
Julie Bowen from Modern Family is getting a divorce. Her husband is a real estate investor named Scott Phillips. They have been together for 13 years and have 3 sons together. Think there's a prenup?
For which one of them? Because real estate's done pretty well in the last 13 years, too.
She is loaded.
Yeah.
from
Which one is
Modern
she? The blonde
Family.
one?
Yeah.
I find her attractive. I think she's like kind of a sexy mom character.
Chuck Norris was the star of Walker, Texas Ranger. Danny's
I thought
brother
Danny
from
was the
another
star
mother.
of Walker, Texas Ranger.
Now he's the star of Use a Walker, Texas Ranger.
Chuck Norris claims that he is getting screwed out of money from TV shows on demand.
Who would screw Chuck Norris out of anything?
Right.
What if he shows up at your front door and he's mad?
Yeah, I would mess with Chuck Norris.
Roundhouse kick to the face is what you get.
Yeah.
$30 million is what he wants.
Well, he can have it. He's Chuck Norris.
Well, I don't have $30 million
Well,
to
he
give
can't have
him.
it from us, but he can have it.
Now, he says that it was streaming video on demand revenues that he was supposed to get starting in 1993. He has not gotten, and he is now suing to get his fair share, $30 million.
All righty then. Bank.
Well, we don't have $30 million, but there's another grand right there you
Right.
could win. And if you want to give it to Chuck Norris,
You could.
you can, I
Feel
guess.
bad for the guy.
Last night, the 4 Battle for Stardom got a little crazy.
Challenge!
It was the comeback episode with some of the most epic challenges to
You don't
date.
do it right.
Yeah.
You
we'll
use
give
it
you
in
another
a
shot. Try it
sentence.
again. So no, it was awesome. So there were 4 people that got voted back on by the viewers,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a twist that they all had to battle each other for a chance to challenge one of the 4 to try and make it back on the 4. So it was really cool.
Did
a
you
lot
actually
of
see it?
battling
I didn't
going
see
on.
last night's episode.
Yeah, I did see it. So
Does the chick with the dreadlocks and the nose piercings, did she sing again?
she makes it. Yeah, she's
pretty
She sang
fabulous.
again. She won both challenges, made it back onto the show. So she's going to be part of the finale.
Wow.
And it is a 2-hour finale of the 4 Battle for Stardom, 8 p.m. Q13, Fox next Thursday.
Cool.
Well, talking about the weekend, though, there is a little football game happening on Sunday just after 3 o'clock. To tell us a little bit more, to talk about it with us, joining us on the phone right now is the Gas Man.
Hey, good morning, Gas Man.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
We're all doing very, very well.
Great to hear from you.
Good. I thought you'd lost my number. I sat here every day waiting for the phone. It's so lonely waiting for you to call, Sarah. It's such
It is sad, yeah. I
sad
understand completely.
existence.
So, with the Super Bowl upon us, and as upon us, I mean this coming Sunday, is this because you've been doing this for 20 plus years, Seattle Sports Talk on the radio, sports columns in the newspaper? Is this still your get to work time of year?
And I don't know if it's necessarily get to work, but I still like it. It's easy to be cynical. It's gotten, it's classic America. We've blown it up and the excess and all this. But I love Super Bowl Sunday. I think it's a fun day. Everyone's watching. Heroes and zeros are created in an instant. And I always get a kick out of the game. And, for about the past, remember there was that long stretch of time years ago where the Super Bowl was boring. It was horrible. Year after year after year, the games were just terrible. The last about 15 or 16 years, we've had so many classic games. The games have been fun, and I think we'll have another fun game on Sunday. I love Super Bowl Sunday.
Now, I have noticed this, and I am not certainly the expert that the Gas Man is, but I was watching TV with the lovely wife yesterday, my lovely wife, Gas Man, and we were sitting there, and she said, "Oh, is that where they're playing the Super Bowl?" And they're in Minneapolis. I'm looking, I went, "Yeah," and I realized it's not. It's an event space they built for people to do stuff before they go into the place where they act. Like, so what I'm saying is when a dumb town like Minneapolis gets the Super Bowl, they roll it out for you. They're really spending some money on this.
You know what they've done around Super Bowls the last several years is they try to put the security a couple of blocks away from the stadium, so you can get through security, and then you're in, I guess for lack of a better phrase, a safe zone. You don't wait until you get up to the turnstile to get searched and all that. You get into an area. So a place like Minneapolis, they had to build some stuff because it's about 900 degrees below zero there.
Right.
So they had to build a few temporary things where people could, when they get through security, they're in some sort of an environment that they're not going to die of frostbite before they get to the game. So that's part of the reasons that they've done that over the years.
By the way, and I'm assuming that Sarah will have real life football questions for you in a second, but I did not know the thing about security around the block. That's genius.
Yeah.
Because it looks terrible, I think. I think it makes us look bad. Look, it's their game that America loves all year long, but you can't it in until somebody grabs your package and says you don't have an explosive or something like that. So thank you for that update there, Gas Man.
So what do you think, buddy, when it comes to Sunday's game, what are going to be some of the keys for the Eagles or for the Patriots to reign victorious?
Okay, before I get to that, I got to tell you, this is a rematch of Super Bowl 39. The Patriots and Eagles played in Super Bowl 39. I got to tell you what happened to me. I was with some friends in Las Vegas, and I convinced them. I said, the Eagles are going to win, and we don't need the points. Let's bet the money line. Let's get some odds on our side, and we'll make a lot more money. So we put all our money together, and we bet the Eagles. They lost. If we had taken the points, we would have won our bet, but because I'm the expert and the brilliant guy.
I was not going to point that out because I have an affinity for the Gas Man, so I was going to keep it quiet that he's supposed to be the expert. But apparently he knows.
Here's what my friends did, because they're friends. They distracted me with free casino cocktails, and they went up to my room and filled my bed with Doritos. So I climb into bed about midnight, and I'm like, what is going? Yes, and you really haven't lived until you've climbed into a king-size bed full of Doritos.
True that, man.
Sounds pretty great, honestly.
It's a thing, man.
That's what they did for me. Okay, so on to this year. It's interesting. I'm tempted to say it's going to be a low-scoring game because the two defenses have been great. The Eagles have been unbelievable in the postseason defensively. They've been good all year. New England has been great all year. They've since week 5, they've given up an average of 14 points a game. So I'm tempted to say it'll be low-scoring, but with the 2 weeks to get ready and as sophisticated as offenses are in the NFL and the way the rules stack up against the defense, the Super Bowl usually becomes a little bit more of a high-scoring affair. So we'll see. It won't surprise me though if it's low. I think the defenses are going to mean it's going to be close. I think this will be a close game. The underdog, and again back to gambling. And if I were in Vegas this week, I would take the points. I learned my lesson the hard way. I like the Eagles and the points in this. The underdog's 9-1 in the postseason this year, and I would ride the underdog in this game. And I think the Eagles might win straight up, but I'm smart enough this time to take the points.
What's weird on this one for me is I have money on the Patriots, but then as the story unfolds, I kind of like the Eagles. I like the Cinderella story of the quarterback. I would if I could rebet, but I can't. I would take the Eagles.
Well, and Derek is a lifelong Philadelphia Eagles fan, so I don't think you're going to be able to.
You're not allowed to pry the Eagles away from him.
Hey, man, I didn't mean it.
Try that next time you're in Vegas. Go to the front of the line. Look, this thing I did 3 hours ago, I didn't mean this.
Yeah, do that at halftime.
Gasman, who do you think has advantages and in what area? Like, obviously, we know Tom Brady probably has the advantage in quarterback, but do you think one team has a better defense or has a better tight end? What's your opinion?
Well, I think the Patriots got a huge piece of news yesterday with the word that Rob Gronkowski has cleared protocol and is going to be able to play. He's more than just a security blanket for Brady, and he is. He's a security, but he's great. He's a great player. Great. He gets open at clutch times. He makes big catches. He can take a hit. I think that's a big piece. Clearly, they have the advantage at quarterback. I mean, Brady is not from this planet. Right. I mean, he's like Jason in Friday the 13th. You think he's dead? It's like he's dead. Come on, nope, he's back. Look, there he is.
I never made that correlation. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I think, and I'll tell you, I think the Eagles do have a better defense, but don't sleep on New England's defense. They've been great all year. And here's a weird little statistical quirk. New England has not forced a turnover in the postseason. Now, that's only 2 games, but if they win the Super Bowl and don't force a turnover, they'll be the first team in history to not force a turnover in the postseason and win the Super Bowl. Isn't that weird?
That is weird. But what's sad is I have to recover. I think Sarah is crying because you told her she can't sleep with the New England defense. I don't think that's what he meant. I don't think that's what he meant. Sleep on the defense. I don't think that's what he meant.
Hey, Gasman, it was nice to talk to you this morning, and we have your number again, so we would certainly hope to speak with you again soon.
Gas, at your Super Bowl party, you have the guys over. Do you serve Doritos?
No, that was my last Super Bowl party. I watched the game in a hermetically sealed thing that nobody can get to me, and so no one can put Doritos anywhere on me after Sunday.
That is Gas Man, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't get enough of him like we can't get enough of him, you can find out all his latest work by following him at Gasman206 on Twitter, correct?
Right.
At Gasman206. See you, buddy.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
All right, it's Friday. Let's have a look at the new movies that are in theaters. Just a couple of movies opening up, 1 in wide release, 2 limited. You'll find them in some theaters here in Seattle. Wide release, it is the movie Winchester. This stars...
Oh, yeah, Amy wants to see that.
This looks good, looks scary, and it stars the awesome Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
PG-13. An isolated stretch of land 50 miles outside of San Francisco sits the most haunted house in the world. Built by Sarah Winchester, played by Helen Mirren, heiress to the Winchester fortune, it is a house that knows no end. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, mania for decades. She is a madwoman, and this is a horror movie.
Her mania is she never stops building the house, right?
Right. Because it's haunted.
Right. And I don't know what one, I think a medium actually told, could have been a large, I don't know. But somebody told her to constantly build more rooms, staircases, doorways that lead nowhere. I've been to that house on a tour with Amy, and it's creepy and weird.
Sounds cool.
It is.
In the movie, they say she is keeps building a prison as an asylum for the hundreds of vengeful ghosts that have a score to settle with the Winchesters.
Yeah. The way I heard it was that she thinks she's possessed by ghosts of the Indians that the Winchester killed, which would be tens of thousands of Native Americans.
What are the reviewers saying about Winchester, Derek?
Well, give me a Winchester shot to the face, 10% rotten.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow. And I don't know that the shot to the face seems like a little graphic, but all right.
Yikes.
With Helen Mirren, too.
I
How
know,
do
that's
you do
the
that?
thing. You got to give 40% just because it's her.
Right.
There's a drama opening up rated R called A Fantastic Woman. This is...
So it's a fantasy.
Well, Marina and Orlando are in love and planning for the future. Marina is a waitress and an aspiring singer. He is 20 years older and owns a printing company. He falls seriously ill. She rushes him to the hospital, but he dies.
Oh, bummer.
Turns out Marina is a trans woman, and her struggle is to get his family to accept her and their love. Things don't go so well. What are the reviewers saying about A Fantastic Woman?
More fantastic than the women at the Deja Vu. 89% fresh.
Wow. Who are the two? What are their names? The characters?
Marina and Orlando.
They're named after places. I don't trust it at all.
More fantastic than the dancers Derek likes, and more fresh, too. 89% fresh. It's like way more fresh.
Way more fresh.
There's a movie, PG-13, starring Ian McShane and a bunch of people whose names I can't pronounce. Bilal, a New Breed of Hero.
It's an animated movie?
This is an action animation adventure movie. 1,400 years ago, Bilal, a 7-year-old boy, dreams of becoming a great warrior, is abducted into slavery with his sister and taken far away from home. He needs to find the inner strength he didn't know he possessed to become free and lead his community.
Is this a kid's movie?
It is PG-13.
So no.
It's a cartoon for
about slavery.
adults, yeah.
Bilal, a New Breed of Hero. The reviewers say what?
Instead of watching this, I would rather spend 2 hours breeding. 50% rotten.
What does that mean?
I don't
I
know.
don't know if you give us a minute. That's we're all pondering. And yeah, because does he like breeding?
He
Does
doesn't,
not like
no.
breeding? All right.
If you want to see trailers for these movies, they are up now on our website, KZOK.com.
Is it worth explaining, Derek?
No.
All right then.
Thank you again to the Gas Man for joining us. And Sports This Morning was brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you are facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY, 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
And also, if you're not doing anything tomorrow, or even if you are,
Yeah.
stop it.
Yeah, make new plans
make
to
new
hang
plans
out with
to
the
come
douche man.
play with me at the First Mate tailgate, and I'm not positive exactly. I know if you're the guy on the boat that's not the captain, there's a chance you're the first mate. But I don't know that we have to do stuff. But anyway, it's the First Mate tailgate tomorrow from noon till 2. Come on out. We're going to play games. It's the afternoon drinks, games, boats, football, all sorts of stuff. South Lake Union. Admission is free, and you can get all the details and directions at KZOK.com. Now, speaking of breeding,
Yeah.
I didn't even know how to do this one. So I was going to say if I wanted to breed with the guy, but it's technically biologically unsound.
Yeah.
Really. I love him. That's all I'm saying. He's my buddy Steve Slayton. He's going to walk in this room any second now, and he's going to play you a bunch of classic rock to carry you through the weekend, so we will get out of his way. Bye.
This traffic report is brought to you by Staples. Seeing about a 20-minute delay on I-5 southbound between 1st Avenue and James Street in Seattle. And over on Mercer Island, you're going to see about a 10-minute delay on I-90 westbound between Island Crestway and Rainier Avenue. Staples has low prices on the organizational solutions your business needs to clear the clutter and focus on the job at hand this year, like banker's boxes, file folders, and storage bins. Less mess equals more success. Visit staples.com for more. Staples, it's pro time. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.